Reverberation, Par Vision. That is the title of this week's chapter. We got Law sleeping on Beppo and Zeus. Law was not requested, but Oda decided to just put him in there anyways. Kind of falls in line with the meme of Law making up his backstory. People are saying he's dreaming up more fake backstories to give to the readers, so looking forward to that. Any thoughts about this cover page?
A lot.
Oh, shoot.
Two things. What I found out is that this is actually a continuation.
Oh.
The last time Oda did a cover request where it was like Law sleeping peacefully or whatever, he was sleeping on a tiger, and Beppo was jealous that Law wasn't sleeping on him. It's a reader request, and like you said, Oda just inserted Law, so he kind of took the opportunity like, oh, I could just do a follow-up, which brings me to the second thing. Maybe he's on a Sky Island or on Zou. Maybe he's back at Zou.
We'll see where Law's at. Either way, he should be somewhat nearby. Him and Kid. Kid, I think, possibly taken away by like a deep sea current, and he'll come back with like some crazy lore. Maybe that's Cope. And then because Kid went down in the water, Law went to the sky. So we get a straight up continuation of the fight. And it's some pretty cool stuff. It's funny because like you see Rocks crying in one panel. You see him crying in multiple panels. But whenever they're like fighting, the tears like almost disappear. Like when they zoom out a little bit. But yeah, it's confirmed here that Garp does have the voice of all things. They're all going in. And Roger's like, yo, like none of this makes sense. Like his words, the way he's acting, the look on his face, like this is absurd. And I kind of wish some of the Rocks pirates felt the same way. Like, hey, our captain, man, this isn't really him. We've been working with him for like 4 to 7, 8 years. Yeah,
Longer.
just something's not like adding up here.
Oh, you're right with Kaido and Big Mom. You're right.
Yeah, I added in variation because everybody joins the crew at different points, but yeah.
Whitebeard is like 14 years, right? At this point?
I have no clue. I didn't go back and count.
I think it was 55 years ago was the introduction for Rock, so it's like 54 to 30. Yeah, it's like 14 years or something like that.
Yeah, these guys have been with him for a while, but, they've seen him fight before, and they didn't really question what's going on with this, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, is this like selective memory loss? Like what's happening? Like it's almost, I know it's an exaggeration, guys, but sometimes it helps to explain through the exaggeration. I shit you not, replaying it in my head, it felt like when someone got turned into a toy at Dressrosa. Like, and then all the other people just were like, just acted like everything was normal and not, where's my husband? Oh, and like, what happened to him? They straight up just deleted from like existence. And, it's like, oh yeah, I have a kid. I'm a mom. He never had a dad. It was kind of like that with like Rocks or Whitebeard down to Kaido. And it kind of like something I didn't even think about, but it's like Kaido's the person who is like, let me at him. Let me fight. Let me fight someone strong. I want to fight Roger. I want to fight. Why are we running from Garp? And it's like, bro, we get the treasure, we out. We're not trying to stall on Garp, right? Kaido's like, no, I want the smoke. All of a sudden, he doesn't want the smoke. What's happened? Like, and it's not even, I don't want the smoke. It was like complete. Hey, Lindley, you see how crazy Rocks was? Not even even if Oda separated them out, maybe it would have made more sense. But the fact that Kaido was just engaged with Big Mom's conversation after getting like stabbed and tossed as a dragon, and just like, yeah, peace. I don't care
see
about
you later.
fighting things that are strong. Like as a character trait, that doesn't make sense. Like it's kind of weird with Big Mom. It's like she doesn't really care. I can't like even stretch it that she would want to turn back. Like, yeah, she's more linear, unless he had cake, unless he had like food or some shit, right? But with Whitebeard, oh my god, bro, he literally said, yeah, I'm volunteering for this fight, Rocks, don't worry about it, I owe you one for the years I put it on your tab, which is probably like thousands, if not like hundreds of thousands. Like, I don't know how much it costs, but
it's crazy. Like,
he just,
not even them, by the way. I went on a soapbox the other day in my review, and I was like, okay,
Okay.
it doesn't make sense for any of the crew to leave rocks right here, considering they have no knowledge. Like Shiki, Kyoto, Captain John, Ganzui, and people are like, oh, but Sai, we heard that. Oh my god, like they're so fickle. They don't care if their captain dies. Yes, but they don't even know what's happening with their captain. They don't even know that he's going to die. You know what I mean? And the thing is, they've been with Rocks, like you said, 14, 7, 4, 3. They've been with him longer than the Straw Hats. Rocks has made them money, given them a home. Yes, they could make more money on their own, but Rocks, for 99% of the time, has been really good to them. And from a min-max perspective, maybe it's because they're not Korean. From a min-max perspective, it makes no sense to abandon Rocks when you have no idea what's even happening with Rocks. They don't even know he's like fighting. They don't know he's dying. They don't know if he's Domi reversing. They have no clue what's going on. They just said, oh, yep, time is nigh. It's time to leave. Like, wait, why? Like, why now? Because I don't think people understand this, but it's like, okay, to them, this is just an average event. Like, go back. They're like, oh, but sorry, the crew was going to crumple at any minute. Okay. What about the last 100 places they raided? What about the last 50 ports? What about the island where they just stole a bunch of treasure? Like, guys, use your heads for a minute. Like, this is so random for everybody to just say, yeah, you know what, we're done. Like, what do you mean you're done? Like, you don't know what's happening. Like, this is just another Tuesday. Why did everybody pick the same Tuesday to leave? It's a little bit absurd.
Also, like, 100% agree with you. I felt like that from the start, so understand, like, the more you sit with it, the weirder it gets. Like, the fact that Wang Ji, come on, guys, if you didn't think by that chapter he was the traitor that they didn't name call, like, I don't want you on my jury, bro. Stop. Remove yourself from that Oda made it so obvious that Wang Ji was the snake from our perspective from two panels. And they're like, yep, no, Wang Ji's cool, not a traitor. In fact, after this, he gets the island. I'm like, what? What happened to the guy who developed it, terraformed it, gave it to you, made the plan, got you guys here? It's like I'm so confused about the whole thing that it's like, I can't help but go back on what I said the chapter before, where I said, like, if it ends in one chapter, which again, by when I said that, I didn't mean end like leave God Valley. I meant like leave the flashback, which God Valley is still happening. So even this is insane, like where we get like maybe we're gonna get a chapter or half a chapter or 2 chapters of God Valley, but like the thing that I thought that was the climax already done in one chapter. And what I said was that what that would do is it would rush things and we can accept them, but they won't make sense. And I was thinking the Holy Knights. And yes, the Holy Knight part is still there. Garling's on his back, and none of the Holy Knights showed up to anyone, not just Rocks, Roger, Garp. What about Roger and all the other crew that are actively taking billion berry bounty chests? Shouldn't the Holy Knights at least stop those? And these are random pirates. Why is Captain John getting one-shotted by a booger and not just clapped by a Yeti? You know what I'm saying? Like, where has that been? Right? So the one chapter thing, I didn't think it'd extend to the Rocks crew. And that was the one thing I commended on the chapter before. I was like, you know what? Like, these characters it all makes sense. This chapter, I can't say that because, bro, the Whitebeard one doesn't make sense, especially when you add on, he's a guy who's super grateful and loyal to protecting a home, giving homes. He literally, like, still to this day doesn't pay the tab, makes his crew pay it so he can give it back to his homeland. And it's like, wait, like, he's not even a little bit appreciative of the thing. And I'm like, there was cope. And I was thinking the only thing I could think of, and I don't know how I feel about this yet, because I don't have like a middle end part for it. It's just like an idea, is that this is somehow a result. No, but then it doesn't fit Kaido and Big Mom unless we off-screen their Davy back fight. I was gonna say like to join a crew through Davy back fight because it's that weird contract, right? It's like you have to join or whatever, or like Davy Jones will get you. So I was like, that's technically a contract. So maybe breaching the contract somehow made it that they just forgot. Like I don't know, but then like I just said, Kaido and Big Mom. I didn't have enough time to like poke holes in the own idea, but like that's the only thing I could think of. It's like, were they being paid, but like also paid to forget? Was it an NDA? Like what's happening? Like does the
I
D
have
in NDA
no
stand for Davy?
clue, brother. I do not like, I love One Piece. And when it comes to anime and manga, I take shit on the chin, dude. I really do. But you gotta admit,
Yeah.
no matter who you are, God Valley's been a little bit silly. It's been great. I love the fights and I love what's been happening. But when it comes to the Rocks Pirates disbanding, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. What? Really? That's it? Like, how? If this is all it took for them to disband, why did they not disband years ago? Like, one by one. Like, it's crazy to think that this is what did it. Like, oh, like, Rocks threw Kaido to a mountain and, oh, okay, Kaido's gone. Like, wait, what? Really? Is it?
Yeah.
Like, maybe there was fighting off screen that we didn't see. And it's like, okay, like, they fought for, like, like 30 minutes. And then now Kaido's like, you know what? My captain's kind of being an ass. Maybe now I'll leave. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. But we didn't see that. We're playing with our imagination at that point. So it's a little bit silly. And then, of course, like, the whole thing where it's like, oh, Rocks looks different. He's bigger, isn't he?
Oh,
He's talking weird. He's crying. And it's like, Par, if you came on here one day, you hopped on call, and you're like, sorry, you asshole, I hate you. And then you also have, like, fangs and, like, wings. I'm like, maybe that's not Par vision. Maybe I'll forgive Par for this one, because something's up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it's, like I said, I still enjoy the chapter. And it's how I feel about One Punch Man. Like, the animation's pretty bad, but it's still enjoyable. Like, that's how I feel about this. Like, this doesn't make any sense.
If I look like this, you would be like,
enjoyable.
You'd be like, all right, guys, I don't know who I was talking to, like.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, Par's a crazy man. I don't know, dude. Yeah, it's a little bit goofy, but it is what it is.
We're not even
roll with the
on
punches.
The images, but like on the betrayal part. We saw that they were taking on Shinshiki, threw bombs at them.
Yeah, they were taking abuse left and right.
I think was it Stussy and Big Mom we're in like a cavern, and Shiki almost collapsed the thing on them, and then Whitebeard flipped the island on all of them and was like, whoops, my bad, guys. And it's like,
and nobody cared.
All right. Yeah, one throw into the wall, one slap. Like, come on, guys. Did he never use Conqueror's Haki? Like, that's also something that I did separate out too, though. I'm not saying that this is the case, but we've never seen Rocks do that kind of behavior. He was always kind of guys like, hey, let's split up the thing, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was kind of like in that betrayal thing. He didn't even do anything. We didn't even see him fight. Right. And it's like that. So that what like, oh, maybe this is the first time. It's like the first time your dad hits you. You're like, oh, my God, you're capable of that. And then that's like the trauma, like, because Kaido, I'm not going to lie. Right. Kaido acting like he's never been hit before, for him to carry this grudge for 38 years. It's like, your parents never beat you. Like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, yeah, don't hit your kids. I'm there. Don't worry. But I'm also like, I grew up with that. And, sometimes the other kids who didn't get hit often, they were soft like Kaido. And I get it. Kaido's the strongest one. But he literally is like, oh, he betrayed me. Like, not looking at it. Like, he's betraying everything about him. And he's not even drunk. That's the, like, I don't even know. Like, it just doesn't make sense, because then, again, the place where you ended with was the visuals, which is what, like I think 3 times Roger, Garp, then Garp again in this chapter were like, man, I can't tell what's going on with this guy. His face, his heart, his expressions. Like,
you do not need the voice of all things. You do not need the voice of all things to know that something's wrong. Like, you can eliminate the voice. I promise you'll be fine. you can deduce that this is not Rocks. Like, especially when a black monster in the sky literally like shoves tentacles inside of him, And, you know, we're going with the anime logic where it's like, you know,
like just start
anime logic,
diddling rocks.
half the time, a guy, a villain, they'll talk to you from like, you know, miles away and you can hear them perfectly fine. And then there's times where they're literally like maybe like, I don't know, 50 feet from you and you can't hear them at all. So we have to go with the whole notion that, oh yeah, by the way, Emu is whispering to rocks when he says, kill the David clan, exterminate the island, you're gonna have the powers of a god. Like, now we're just under the assumption that nobody can hear Emu, and for some reason, nobody's questioning what's up with Emu. Like, it's goofy.
In a world of devil fruits.
In a world
of
devil
this
fruits.
can happen. Like, it's not like,
yeah.
Oh, shit, I've never seen this before. No, there's
and later on, Kaido literally gets someone on his crew that can manipulate people. 2 people. We got Sugar and Doflamingo. And then Big Mom has Pudding, which can manipulate memories. We know that you can F with people with fruits. So it's crazy that none of them were like, maybe Rox wasn't in his right mind. Maybe Rox wasn't doing what he would normally do. Maybe Roger tells Whitebeard afterwards. I feel like they'd have that conversation. Like, hey, by the way, you left early, but your captain was begging for us to help him and kill him. And you bailed.
Dude. Like, there's so many levels to it where it's just kind of like the memories thing, right? Like it feels like that, but then it doesn't, right? Because on chapter 999, Kaido and Big Mom say Rox's name. So it's like I made an entire video where half of it is saying like, guys, I don't think God Valley is like a memory extinguishment event where it's like what God Valley, because back then at that time, especially on the heels and just before Leloucia, it was kind of like, hey, like disappearing an island might make the memories get zapped away too. And you know, to be fair, that was possible back then, or like, you know, I could understand some people thinking about it, but I made half the video was like, yo, I don't think it was that kind of thing. I think it was literally just erased from their records and they stopped talking about it for 38 years. And the only thing weird about it, because yeah, then people would just forget. We saw that with the Straw Hats. After the time skip, people were like, oh, who are these guys? It was only 2 years. And it's like, he was at Marineford and everyone was talking about him. And then they're like, oh yeah, the Straw Hat, who's that guy again? And I'm like, okay, so that makes sense. The part that doesn't make sense is the part where Sengoku, and that is like verified now, is like they were so embarrassed that they didn't want to talk about it. Off of this chapter, there's no embarrassment. There's nothing. They don't have emotions. They're not like mad or angry or whatever. Like when Big Mom says, oh, like Rox is a rat, don't trust him, right? Or something like that. Earlier on, apparently in the timeline,
he's like the most un-rat-like person we've seen so far.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, based off of what? But then also, there's no like adding on to that in this moment. Oh, I knew that guy was a rat. It's like the perfect layup to heal a little bit, at least for Kaido and Big Mom. But like Whitebeard, I'm like, maybe that conversation with Roger, where Roger goes, want me to tell you about the D-Clan? He's like, I do come across those guys every once in a while. There's that Teach guy in my crew. And I'm like, Rox? And the cope that I had accepted was, oh, that's pre-time skip. Oda didn't like fully flesh out whatever Rox and all that stuff. And that I'm okay with accepting that. But now I don't. Now I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't like I guess if Oda does a memory thing, that would be a way to explain all of this, right? Like if afterwards, like, yeah, it's not that our concerns with not concerns, but like not even complaints, but like, hey guys, this is weird. And people be like, no, it's not weird. Then I'm on a different planet than you guys. I'm sorry, because like I feel like it's easy to fix. There's an easy fix. It'd be like, oh, there's a memory thing involved. From what? Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. But there needs to be some acknowledgement, right? Like even what Sai was saying about Shiki not ascertaining anything and just bouncing. He's like in the same boat as Whitebeard, right? Like yeah, betrayal's one thing, but like
if
I
they
don't
saw
know.
the
It's
captain going berserk, it's like, okay, yeah, like they realize they can't do anything. They're like, oh, like this is the perfect time to leave. I've been looking for a chance to leave. It's like, okay, sure. But like he's literally leaving without knowing about anything. He doesn't know about Kaido, Whitebeard, Big Mom. He doesn't know about Rocks. He doesn't know that Roger's fighting. Like he hasn't even seen Emu. You know what I mean? Like that's my main thing. I hope it doesn't seem too
yeah,
nitpicky, but it's like a
yeah,
genuine thing. It's like what's going on here? Like
yeah.
really? Like
Even when he had,
this is all it took. Yeah, like we heard that they would leave beforehand, but it's like literally why didn't they leave like 10 islands ago or like 5 years ago? Like you got it like you said they've been fighting each other day in day out. Like this, like no resistance at all. Now they just broke out of nowhere. Like really? Like that's
it
all
makes you
it
think,
was. It's crazy.
like Whiskey Peak, like Zoro, Luffy, like damn, bro, they loved each other, and like that was 10 days
And
into their trip.
I tell people, dude, like, you gotta imagine the Rocks pirates have literally been together 10 times, possibly longer than the Straw Hats.
Yeah, some of you might be younger than their relationship.
It's, yeah, I don't personally get it. Like I said, for me, I take things on the chin. So even though I'm
Yeah.
complaining, I'm not like mad at it. Like I hope nobody like walks away like, oh, Sai hated the chapter. He hates God. That's not the case. It's just that there's some things that I think are a little bit silly. That's what I think this is.
Yeah, and I think that it's salt. Like again, there's, as you guys know, if you follow this thing, I'm nitpicky, but I keep it moving, right?
Yeah, we're
and
nitpicky, but we keep on moving.
I like to think that I'm consistent with like when I'm critical, like it's for a similar reason. And like this one is like I feel like the bars like it's like this is just like it's so hard for me to rationalize. Like all the other ones I can keep moving. This one I'm like no, like this one's a very very
And
standout
you gotta
one.
imagine, guys, like when we first got like the whole thing of people like the notion of them leaving beforehand, I told Par, Par was about to go on this rant last week, and I said, Par, you're Indian, man. Nobody cares what you have to say. I didn't say that. I told Par, I said, we got like one more chapter left, two more chapters.
Yeah.
Like, wait. I said, Par, like maybe we wait a little bit before we like judge them. And now we got to the point where they're leaving. It's like, okay, now we can judge them. Now I'm joining in, Par. This is crazy.
I was worried, but there was a reason to stave off the worry. But then, like, it's salt in the wound where you have Garp. It's not even Roger. It would be like, I don't know, if Law, Kid, whatever, they saw Luffy crashing out and like he turns Gear 5 and start crashing out. Like Law and Kid, if they would still be trying with Zoro and Sanji, I'm sure, right? Like maybe Kid no, but that makes sense. Dude, they're not even supposed to be a team. They broke out of jail together, sure. But Garp goes. What did he say? It's like, bro, I get it. He's the good guy. He's on the Navy, right? But like, he's like, that look you've got, the curse. Is there any way to break it? He's not even he's a pirate, dead or alive. He shouldn't care if he kills rocks, right? And we get it. He's a monkey, D family, whatever. We get it. Main character. They don't kill people. Sure. They're friends, cool, whatever. But he's also a demon. If there was a moment for Garp to let go of his inhibitions, it's now. It's like me and Sai literally have talked about this in the 50-50. We've talked about this. And if our wives got demonified right in front of us, how long would it take? And be like, all right, listen, if they got turned into demons, we knew it's life or death. It's like, we don't hesitate, right? And it's like Garp out here being like, hey, I'm no magician, but I'm about to dabble in it. Like, what does he think he's gonna do? How do I break this curse that this weird, like, how many levels of Garp I see Spider turns into crazy lady spider that diddles this guy? How do I undo that? I'm looking at like, yeah, no, that's beyond me. I'm just trying to live at this point. Like, it's me or him. And he's saying that as his crew is walking away. And I'm like, bro, I don't know. Like, it's not even Roger saying that. It's not even a pirate. It's literally the guy who's being paid to kill him. He has more care for him. He's crying about it. He's sad. And it's like you said, it's not the voice of all things. It's literally, look at him. He's crying this entire chapter. Just look at his face. He's tears. That's the whole point of the chapter, guys. His tears.
And what's funny too is, going back to the thing where like Emu was literally saying kill the Davy clan and everything, like in front of everybody. Even if we go with the notion that Emu whispered that and only Rocks could hear it, there were like multiple exclamation points when Emu was saying it. So it's like, what, did he shout silently? Kill the Davy clan! Like just in his ear? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, famously, I see this. If I see Sai make this face ever, my first thought is like, yeah, he meant it. He's in the right state of mind. Like,
yeah, he's in the right state of mind. This is it. Fully cognition Sai.
Going through this, maybe at least one time. Try once. Try one time to help them. I get it. Walk away the second time, third time. You gotta save yourself. But the first time, come on.
I saw a meme. Like this is all it took to convince Whitebeard that Rox is a bad guy. And it was Whitebeard's like, are we in your way? And Rox says, yes! And that's it. That's it. It was like, right, that's it. I guess my captain's cooked. I guess he hates me. Like, bro.
Dude, it's
what are the
phenomenal.
13 reasons? Okay, no, I feel like we're getting too hung up at this now. Like, but
well, I mean,
it was like that is like a big part of the chapter, though.
Yeah. I mean, there's some odd things in between that are kind of hype. I will admit those moments kind of did not carry because the chapter is good, right?
Yeah, the chapter is good. It's just like I said. I think that's like our one big hang up. Just like we have to suspend.
Yeah.
Not even disbelief, just like logic.
Yeah, that one I would even chalk that up. Like, this is what I mean, the difference between like the end of Wano, people were like it's rushed, and I think a lot of people were saying that preemptively, and it's like wait for Wano to end, right? And then when it ended, it didn't, like, some people dropped off on like, oh, there was, these things, it was fine, right? But I was like, nah, bro, this is like, we ended too quickly. I held off until the end, and I was like, nope, it was rushed. And it was validated 3 chapters later when we got a flashback from Yamato talking to the crew, and it's like, wait, it's 3 chapters. It happened right there. Just put it there. That's a clear showing that like there was a limit to Wano chapters, and Oda couldn't fit that in, but it was relevant, and it was so relevant he couldn't even wait 3 chapters to put it in. And it's like, this is
maybe next chapter we're gonna get like additional that is my cope. My cope is that next chapter we're gonna see Shiki saying, oh man, you know what, I saw Rox's demonic form. I saw that nobody could hold the candle to him. I've been waiting for a chance to leave. Like, maybe what we need is Shiki to say, oh, you know what, I've been saving up for this, and I was waiting till I hit this amount in my bank account, and I finally just hit it, so now it's time to leave. The time is 9. Okay, perfect. Yeah. That explains why now. But until then, it's like, it just seems random. It really does.
Yeah. Especially like, Shiki being a character.
Crazy. Go for it.
I was just going to say, like, I felt a little offended he's left out of the 6. I get why. He's a movie character. But like in headcanon, even with that movie nerfing him, my headcanon is he's up here. He's insanely strong. And we didn't really he threw bombs every once in a while. He did some things every once in a while. But like when you're saying, right, he didn't even ascertain what happened to Rox. I'm like, he's strong enough where he could go in, go out, be in and out, and nothing. I don't really like the fact that the Holy Knights didn't even stop Big Mom and Whitebeard from walking. You know what I mean? I'm kind of convinced that Shiki could have done the same. And he could fly. Like, he doesn't even need to go. He could just like go up and be like, what's going on down there? Right. And like, that's where it's also awkward, because this chapter, and this is what we mean by we'll just walk by it, because we're hoping next chapter gets second chapter. And a lot of times, in 2 chapters, yeah, it does get fixed, or not fixed, or addressed. But in this case, they're already splitting up. They're not gonna even talk to each other. Like, Big Mom goes back to God Valley. Where'd you go, Kaido? Whitebeard. That's, as far as, yeah, we're talking about, chapter, not in chronological, but it is like the first half of the chapter. Whitebeard already found his first mate's dad. That would define, like, when I wasn't even expecting that. I was like, all right, I guess we just made a background character canon. I don't know which one came first, the chicken or the egg, which is a very appropriate joke because the Phoenix thing. People thought this was just Marco reincarnated or his pre-incarnation. No, it's his dad, guys. The memes were right. I remember when Sai said, like, hey, Par, what do you think about Marco's dad? I was like, oh, is that what we're calling him now? And then Oda's like, yeah, what do you mean? You didn't think that was Polo Graham? I'm like, no. It's just to think that. And now he's a big fan, and he's taking Whitebeard off. And I'm hoping Polo's a fan of Rocks. He's like, hey, what happened to your captain? Why did the Rocks group? Like, just a normal question, your next employer might ask. Like, hey, what happened to your last job? What happened to your boss? Was your boss good to you? Like Polo Graham's got this guy on the phone. It's like, hey, Rocks is pretty cool too. And he's like, nah, he hit my forearm once. Couldn't take it. Like,
yeah. It's just super goofy. And I was gonna like make one more point on that, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it here in a little bit.
Back at the end.
No, I'm gonna get to it now, dude. Rox's ambition, by the way, 2 legendary devil fruits, Gallilaw frozen giants. We're gonna take over the world. His whole plan about taking down Emu, was nobody a little bit curious about that? Like not a single person said, Rox's ambition, like, I mean, he's kind of cooking. Imagine the amount of money we'd get from this. Not a single person said, oh yeah, like, we'd be rich beyond hell. No, let's just take like this treasure chest and go. What's happening to my captain? Whatever. I don't know, dude.
I like that you did that because that is a super huge deal for like theory crafting. Like the premise of my Rocks, I had a Yonko series, and the whole point of it, again, to reiterate to people who might have forgot, or new people, was kind of what this chapter is all about. That Rocks, when Oda introduced it, it was a frame of reference for the Yonko that came after him. And he set up the world in a crazy way because he had several. If it weren't Shanks, it would be someone else. And Wang Zhi was holding one of the cards. And it's like Blackbeard being a descendant of Rocks kind of adds to it. But like the point is that the Yonko, who at the time we didn't know how long or for, what the circumstances were. But the way Oda set it up was like, hey, like these people were in a group. Like these are all these monsters. Hey, now they're in a group. And this is what that group was like. They fought, whatever. He wanted to be king of the world. And look, all these characters that I positioned in a weird way to that world. Whitebeard didn't want to be king of the world. He was fine with that, just a family. Big Mom, when we got to Whole Cake Island, she maybe said it once or twice with Pudding, but like in most other cases, she has the Tea Party focus, developing the land focus. And what is she doing? She's growing her family. And with Kaido, it's like that one was less so. He was the kind of the keystone to Oda's Yonko project of doing this whole thing, this whole 20-year whatever plan, and going for the ancient weapons. Well, that's odd. Rocks never mentioned the ancient weapons. And then Kaido also was a little bit weird with like he never left Wano. Like he was kind of like isolated. Like you couldn't really even posture a PTSD Kaido theory and get a lot of traction. Like the strongest man in the world is PTSD from what enigma situation. It's like, yeah, Rock's dying, his captain, you respect him a lot. And it's like, while true, now that we have the moment, I don't even think you can inject that in there, even though this is what people thought was the case. Essentially, he is traumatized by Rocks, but the circumstance doesn't make sense, and it doesn't like fit in even that well, because like, yeah, there's just so many things with like Kaido wanting to take over the world, having a captain that gave him an A, B, C, D, E, F, G plan. And Kaido even going like, wait, if we want to seize power, why don't we just run steamroll Elbaf and just eat them alive and take it by force? And like, I don't know if he got respect of the giants. Like, I don't know. I'm looking at Elbaf. Yeah, there's Loki, but like after Shanks took care of it, I think Kaido and the Beast Pirates do pretty well on Elbaf. I don't know if they outright win because that's just up to Oda scaling the Giants like Dorian Broggy up more. Like if he makes them insane, then yeah, maybe they stop Kaido. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense to me. But point is like now looking back at it, bro, they don't know I don't know what they it's like they just completely forgot about everything. Where was the devil fruit chase? Where was like, how does Blackbeard seemingly, the thing was with Blackbeard all this time, it's like we didn't know if he was interested in Poneglyphs for so long. We didn't know he was interested in ancient weapons for so long. Oda never associated him with either until like the Caribou stuff, really. But prior to that, he was the devil fruit guy, and he was doing all these random things. Like, for example, I'm not saying this is the thing, but a lot of people have been asking me because we were talking about how God Valley could be Bonaro Island, blah, blah, blah. And my logic to even questioning that prior, Sai was saying that the spoiler community was also, going in that direction. My reason was like, hey, like, I want to retrace Blackbeard's step again with a new frame of mind. And my idea was, wait, if they know that the army of giants is frozen, maybe Blackbeard was inspecting frozen islands. So maybe that's why he went to the Drum Rockies. Maybe he thinks that those drums are giants and they're like some AOT thing. And then I'm like, I don't know, that's a little crazy. So then I moved on to Bonaro Island and I was like, wait, this is just God Valley, right? But at the time I didn't have both rocks tumbling. So didn't really, have anything there. But point is that somehow Blackbeard seems to have more of Rox's step-by-step plan and his crew that had been like, even like commissioned to find stuff. Like Captain John was like, I'll be searching the globe for this information, Rox. And Big Mom's like, yeah, I haven't heard of an army of giant anywhere. And it's like, wait, that's awesome. He gave jobs to them. I didn't know that they would follow like that, given the like, oh, they're fighting, blah, blah, blah. They actually like did shit. They had roles. Like that was kind of wild that was the case. And that set up a lot for Big Mom too. But yeah, that is given the name of the chapter, it's like I don't know
really reverberations
with these guys. I don't know if they're reverberating.
Yeah, I think it's only reverberating with Roger and Garp, which we get some pretty cool stuff here, man. Back to the fights. We see Garp throw a punch at Rox's nose. He tanks it. Apparently this is like 1-to-1 with Luffy fighting the armadillo guy at Udon Prison. That's what somebody in your chat said. And yeah, it looks pretty decent. We got some good stuff here. Of course, Rox tanks all of it. He blows him back with Conqueror's Haki. The sky ends up splitting. And now we get to the more nitty-grittiness of Rox's crew splitting. And we see Kyowo, first guy. He got his ass beat and now he's just leaving. And he says, let's steal a ship and get off the island. Somebody in the background says, what, you mean Rox's ship? You really think he's coming back? Which I saw Dawn and Dusk, or Sandman, pretty much the same person. They came in and said this is a wrong translation. They're not inferring that they're going to steal Rox's ship. So that if you're reading Viz, you're getting the wrong dialogue here, but that's fine. We read the TCB one. But yeah, they're not saying that they're going to steal Rox's ship. That wasn't even like a question here. Next person we see is Shiki. And he says, this is the end of the Rocks Pirates without ever really interacting with any of the Rocks Pirates. That's awesome, Shiki. And then we next see the Marines and the Roger Pirates, and they're both calling their captains. And of course, Roger and Garp say, we'll be back. You guys just go on ahead. Garp talks about how he came here for a different intention, right? He came here to arrest both Roger and Rox. Roger says, yeah, my plan was to steal Shaki and get out of here too. But they said they can't just let Rox run free, so they have to team up. And we see more fighting. Garp, specifically, and I love this, he calls whatever is happening to Rox a curse, which I think is very on the money. A hex, a curse. It just falls so well in line with what Emu has done so far, with like the whole magic stuff, right? So yeah, curse, that's actually very fitting. And speaking of curses, I just got to Fishman Island in the anime, which is crazy to think about. Like, I just rewatched again another 500 episodes. And what really stood out to me, and I feel like we haven't talked about this yet, but I mean, I feel like this might become relevant later. But Vanderdecken, the OG one, do you think there's a chance he was Domi reversied?
Um, so given the Rocks like video and Dom University, obviously Vanderdecken has come up a few times, and um I guess to like not dive deep into it because I have a lot of to say on that Vanderdecken thing. I do think it is important. Not maybe not necessarily for Vanderdecken himself, but something that is interesting is the ship, the masthead, the figurehead for their ship is a giant skull with fangs. And so, like, there's one side of it where you're just thinking vampires, but there's another side of it is giant. It is giant. Like, when you size it, like, Vanderdecken's ship was huge in comparison to the Thousand Sunny. And then you add on that the figurehead is massive on that. And so, was he Dami reversied? His story is a little interesting because if I'm not mistaken, and I've been reading a lot of other things at the moment, but his backstory said that the gods punished him, which does line up with the thing, right? Like the whole though it would kind of there. Okay, I'm gonna say some game right here because this is how deep I was thinking about it. I was like, that would counter the whole homeland thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh, like if it was Dami University, is Dami University on his ship? And so then, if I'm balancing out multiple theories, I like the like homeland thing. So I'm playing that. I'm like, okay, that doesn't work anymore because he's on a ship. And I was like, wait, his name is Vanderdecken. Vanderdecken means in Dutch of the decks. Like it could just literally mean that he was born, like his family was born on the ship. Then it would fit. And that is a kind of applicable thing for sailors back then, like plenty. I don't know if there was like a particular name they give to kids or whatever, but the name being of the deck, it's like, okay, maybe that wasn't really his name and they just gave it to him because he was born on the deck. Momo is technically like that too, right? Momo was born on Whitebeard's ship. So it's like technically he would be safe from the thing unless you got, the Moby Dick. But going back to it, the Vanderdecken, Damir Versi, it's like the other one is Zunisha. Zunisha has a similar thing of like a contract or whatever, or breaking a promise, and that word was there, right? And like he has tusks, and like I don't know how it works with animals, but like there's something there with Zunisha that it said like if they were breaking a promise, where would it be? And then there's also the Flying Dutchman, that was one story. What was the other one? Davy Jones. Davy Jones himself. Davy Jones, Oda said like the devil, he was such a dastardly pirate that even the devil cursed him to the bottom of the ocean or something like that. And that's funny because Vanderdecken was by God, and then Davy Jones in the SBS Oda gave, it was the devil did it. So it's like I don't know which one Emu would fit in that one, but by this story, Davy would have been cursed by Emu. Maybe that's what it is. Like honestly, the way Emu's carrying out, like when Roxas goes like Davy's just a name. Like not to spiral this out even further, but I was like, the way Emu's acting is kind of like Kaido, like just this bitter like annoyance towards the Davy, like as if Rox personally offended him by turning into a demon. At that point, it's like, yeah, maybe the original Davy got Dami reversed, and then Emu's family is like, oh yeah, they betrayed us. Oh, the Davy clan's disgusting, evil. So, and it's like, yeah, that is kind of how they like. It is kind of how they would view Rox at the moment. Like it's just like, oh, can't even look that way.
That'll be funny.
Oh, put me on another ship. And then they just carry on this insane grudge later on. And like to the point, right? And I'm saying insane grudge. It's like, yeah, Kaido literally is lecturing to the samurai, to Luffy, to Big Mom or whatever, saying like, oh, Whitebeard and Roger did it right. Not mentioning Rox, which was always the biggest conundrum where it's like, wait, Rox was his captain and he's talking up Whitebeard and Roger, and they did it right. They died right. They whatever. They tell tales about them, and it's like, well, you could have told tales about Kaido. Like, I don't know why you why you're treating this guy like this, and especially not now. But yeah. Sorry to bring it back. You put Vanderdeck in mushroom theory, Dom University theory. I got chapters on Vanderdecken, bro.
Yeah,
So,
shouts to
yeah.
Vanderdecken. I mean, he will be important eventually. It's just one of those things. Like, yeah, it's probably gonna be like a Void Century reveal, because I mean, come on, Flying Dutchman cursed to the seafloor for like what, hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, yeah, it's gonna be something big.
Yeah.
So we see that the Roger Pirates are now bringing Shaki and Gloriosa to the ship. I love that. Gloriosa finally got a chance to hop on Roger's ship. I get that she'd be kind of like not a nag. She'd be kind of annoying to have, but I mean, she's strong, you know, like we never saw her fought, but I'm assuming she's strong. So yeah, bring her on.
She's stronger than Shaki.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, because it's not like she died. Like, she just left the crew. And that was a confusing thing, but she left the crew. And so, like, it's not that Shaki just whooped her ass. Like, no, she was allegedly the strongest. That's what the Empress is supposed to be, the strongest.
Yeah. Next, we got Kaido and Big Mom. They're talking about how Kaido owes her. Oh, what's up?
I just want to say, Gloriosa is probably one of the only Rocks pirates that this makes sense. Because she wasn't here for...
Yeah, she was here for anyone. Roger. Like, her leaving, that makes the most sense out of
Shaki
everybody.
And Roger. Shaki first, I think. Roger, her first. But, like, Shaki, she was like...
sorry, I meant she's the reason why she, like, left the Amazon Pirates in the first place.
Yeah, which that is a question mark. Cause,
yeah, she wanted she wanted left, Roger from the very beginning. Like, well
so
before
she
this
decided
island.
To go to the island that Roger and Rox had an agreement that Roger wouldn't come to. Like,
yeah, a little bit silly, but still, it's at least
she may be the strongest, but not exactly.
We've seen beforehand that love does some weird things to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, shouts to them. Of course, that ship is going nowhere. People are like, "Oh, I ship Scopper and Gloriosa." It's like I wouldn't. Not because it's a bad ship, but spoilers. Scopper does get with Ripley later, so I don't think that's gonna work out too well. Imagine that though, right? Quickly. Maybe that's why she goes into her bad timeline. It's not because Roger dumped her. It's because Roger and Scopper dumped her. It's a 2-for-1. That's the real reason, which kind of sucks, man. I feel bad for Gloriosa.
I like to believe that Gloriosa was fine up until like Roger's execution, but like telepathically, once Ace was born, that's when her decline happened, because like her body knew. She's like, oh my god.
That should have been my womb.
Yeah. Like I smell Roger's out there somewhere, Like, if you put her on the same island as Ace, she'd sniff him out 100%. And that's why she went into decline. Because it is kind of an interesting thing, right? Like, I guess it's just you have to live with them. Like that, you just have to be close to them, because Shaki is fine. But for all intents and purposes, I don't know if like Rayleigh and Shaki are. I mean, if they are, then their condoms are pretty incredible. The safety over all those years, not to have a single kid. And if Oda reveals a Rayleigh kid this late into the game, bro, I don't know if I'll accept that kid. That kid, we got to take it to the Mori show, bro. That I don't know. Only Shaki can prove it, but like at the way they act, bro, it's just like she's just happy to be there.
We could go back to that one fan theory, which would be so funny. Like, imagine we see Mihawk and then Shaq is like, "Welcome home, son." It's like, whoa, what?
Yeah, I'm for that. Like, I don't care.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Mihawk theory, but it's whatever. I don't hate it.
I'm not a pusher. If it happens, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, that's stupid. That doesn't make sense." I don't push for it, but it's not as offensive as Croco Mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could be worse.
I don't push Croco Woman, but that one, it's like, I accept when it happens. Yeah. The moment it happens, I accept. This one, Mihawk is the kid. It would take me like 15 seconds. Like, okay, sure, moving on.
If I had to push, if I had to rank the theories, Buggy as Rox's son would be like the first one. Mihawk and Rayleigh second, and then last place I would put the Crocomom.
Crocomom is below Mihawk Kid. I get Buggy Roxon.
Yeah.
That one I get.
Crocomom
Like,
is the bottom of pretty much every theory.
I am so, that's why you I remember you gave me advice. You're like, Par, like, I watched your Fraud Valley thing. You have to understand why people associate the fraud. You say otherwise in the video, but when you got the title and you didn't make it super clear. I get that, but some part of me is grateful that went viral, because then at least like it gets people talking. But another agenda that I would say was honestly might have even be tied for popularity was the Buggy is Rox's son. And even in my video, I'm like, I don't think so. But I thought about it like, oh, Luffy is to Roger what Buggy would be to Rox. Like, there doesn't have to be a direct lineage, linear thing, right? And to a certain extent, like Blackbeard, Rox, like, we were saying, like, Rox is kind of not snaking people, right? Blackbeard's first thing about attacking your own brothers or killing your own brothers, it's like, I think Rox is like the person who would uphold that, honestly, the most on the crew. I haven't seen him attack a single person, and the one time he did it, he was on something, all right? He was on something. It wasn't him, okay? Like, whereas everyone else, like, yeah, we seen Whitebeard almost kill everybody for no reason. Like, this dude does not give a shit. And, like, that's everyone.
And didn't Whitebeard also, like, speaking of betrayal, Whitebeard also sold out all of his friends at Marineford.
Hey, if you're only talking to a Kainu, I think I heard that too.
Good plan. I got to that, and I was like, bro, no way Squad fell for this bullshit, bro. Like, I was like, dude, what?
Bro, Squad hitting us with the Dami reversing memory loss, bro. Like, he looking at some hit the ops. We're like, bro, he's not the man you love.
I guess they sold it well, because they were like, oh, but look around, honestly, I kind of blame Whitebeard for that too, because they're like, look around, Whitebeard hasn't moved, has he? It's only you guys that are dying. It's like, well, if Whitebeard was like on the front lines fighting, like, none of this would happen, but sure.
This is an amazing place we got
It's
to.
so funny.
I don't know, like, I agree with you. Squad doing that is silly for a lot of reasons, but I justify his case way more than the case we got in this chapter. Like, Squad's situation makes a lot more sense. The guy Whitebeard is carrying and sacrificing everyone for, and everyone's fine to do it, is the guy that killed his entire crew. Like, that makes sense. Whereas these guys are walking away as if Rox did that. Like, Rox did it. No one whispered sweet nothings into their ears like Akainu was doing, bro. Like, to Squad. Whereas these guys didn't need to hear shit. Didn't need to be lied to. Just straight up, that's gonna take a week to heal, man. I'm out of this shit. Like he's looking at his form, like, super upset. Yeah. Oh my god. Thinking back to that. Squad.
Shout out to Squad. Yeah. Shout outs to Squad. So, Big Mom says, Kaido, listen up. You owe me for the rest of your life. And, I found this whole conversation just so funny. Because it's like, oh yeah, this is sweet. I love it. Brother, sister, bickering. Yeah, great stuff. But it's just funny in context when you think about it, because they don't see each other for like the next 38 years. Like, this conversation almost makes it seem like they're going to see each other like next year, the year afterwards, when Kaido becomes a Yonko. And it's like, no, they just never met afterwards, man, until current day, which is kind of crazy. I feel like if I heard that Kaido became an Emperor of the Sea, if I was Big Mom, I'd be like, yo, like, I'm going to go bring him some sake. Like, let's go see what's up. Like, how's his crew going? Like, I would genuinely be so curious. Like, what do you do for all those years? Yeah, you're governing like a city, but like, visit your boy for a minute. I don't know. Parlay.
Or at minimum, like, make good of the promise. Because that's
like, hey, you owe me now. Part. You made it.
Like, the truth that we got was that Big Mom did not give Kaido the fruit. Kaido stole it. But the premise that we were sold at the start was Big Mom did him a favor and she treats him like a little brother like family, whatever.
Yeah.
And the pivot doesn't matter, but the dissonance does, because that's, unironically, the whole memory like thing, like I don't know if I said on the podcast, but I'm pretty sure I said it on the stream to you about the Road to Laughtail Volume 2, where Oda said, like, this is Big Mom's concept art. I wonder what happened to Big Mom in the at God Valley to make this make sense. And it was like a mystery. That was like the one thing in Road to Laughtail that was like something that we didn't know and didn't really have an answer for. And in the concept art, it said Big Mom was like supposedly at God Valley saying like, it's not too shabby, blah blah blah. Here you go, Kaido. Think of your little brother. And I'm like, okay, so now we got God Valley, and that's not the case. So did she do the Big Mom amnesia thing? Is that what happened? And I thought that was what, like, somehow we'd see that this chapter, like, rocks threw her ass into the wall, and now she just forgot everything. And it's like the Wano meme all over again, but it was mad long ago, and it didn't really, like, it just covers up the rocks thing, but you can't give everyone amnesia unless there is some, like, spell thing happening. Like, we just see Emu and Saturn, like, cooking in a pot, like, they'll forget everything. No, that's not what happened. But point is that, like, yeah, they want like a minimum. Big Mom, she's like, I'm gonna make you pay for this for the rest of your life. Shows up at Wano, doesn't really like even bring up the thing in that regard. Like, yeah, like you owe me is very different. Like, I'd say that's
Maybe
a
she was
little
just so
brother too.
happy that she saw Kaido again. That's my thing. Like, oh, it's been 38
like,
years. Like, you know what? I'm just happy Kaido's doing fine.
She was imposing an insane tax on every island that she had. Bro, like you said, the moment I figured out, because she didn't know where Kaido went. And apparently Kaido ended up at Wano. Wano's isolated. She has no reason to go there. I get it. Oh, now he's a Yonko. Now everyone knows where he is. Like, that wasn't a secret that Kaido was there. That was, like, Aramaki literally came to Wano and said, Kaido is protecting you guys, essentially, like, in a loose way, not in directly, but he was using it. You guys get the context. But like Big Mom could have just walked up, could have just flew there, been like, hey, you owe me for the devil fruit, you eel. I'm getting this tax. Oh, Wano. Oh, what are these fruits? Get some smiles maybe. I'm like, that's excessive. But what we actually found out was like it was kind of the reverse. Because I think it was like Big Mom was the one who like funded the numbers, and then Kaido got them. So it's like he stays stealing from Big Mom, because Big Mom was funding Caesar for a lot of things, and then she just didn't care about the numbers at all during Whole Cake Island. It was like a very new thing we found out on Wano, and then I forgot who was telling us about it. Maybe it was Drake. I forget who was saying it, but yeah, then we found out just Kaido just picked them up, and Big Mom made no comment about it. Like, hey, Kaido, aren't those mine? You took them? Like, that's I paid for them, right? It's like, damn, she like just I don't know. It's like the amnesia fits, but I don't know how it fit for everybody. That point is dementia, right? It's not amnesia, it's just dementia. They just got old.
Like I said, for Big Mom, it's more acceptable for me because just like the whole brother sister thing. It's like, yeah. Maybe she doesn't really care that deeply.
Yeah.
But shouts to Strusen. We see Strusen here. And that's cool. I wonder who he's been fighting. Maybe a Holy Knight?
They are more his speed at this point.
I mean, that's another thing too. Like the Holy Knights, brother, where have they been? Like, I get Garling, right? Write Garling off for a minute. Forget him, forget Sommers, but like everybody else, like surely they're around, right? Like, where are they?
What,
like it doesn't have to be Garling at this point, just literally any other one. Remember Gunko had like a full ass like page and a half introduction?
Bro, after
maybe next chapter
or Ganzui. That's gonna be my trigger word.
Next chapter
is gonna start tilting me.
Hey, next chapter. I mean, just wait. Next chapter, we're gonna look so stupid. Because guess what? Oda's gonna bring it in, and we're gonna get like dialogue from all the Rocks parts on why they left right now. Like Kyo was like, "Oh, it's that time of the month. I've been waiting for this day." Shiki's like, "Oh, I finally made it to 100 million berries. I can free Kokoyashi Village." And
I
it's just
will
gonna make so
admit.
much sense why they like all waited till today. Like, oh, what if, how about this? We're gonna feel so stupid when we get the next chapter. They're like, yeah, we actually all have the voice of all things, and Rox told us to leave him behind. If that happens, I'd be like, oh my god, Goda's back at it again. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, like exactly. That's the point. If you're on the boat that you don't think this is an issue, then that wouldn't what Sai said wouldn't be necessary. It would feel good. But like that would solve it. If Oda, for some reason, goes back and when he's slamming them and he's just like whispering to Kaido. Literally what Sai was saying about the whole anime thing, where it's like you could be hundreds of feet away and the dialogue bubble applies. The characters all heard it, but then you have them like literally 10 feet away from each other, same dialogue bubble, but it's like they didn't hear it this time, right? Maybe he was actually whispering, so we didn't even acknowledge that he was speaking. And maybe it was voice of all things, but Rox was like, oh, no, no, no.
What's up?
Rox was using voice of all things, but he didn't know that not everyone has it. So he was out there, he was saying it, and he's like, they got that, right? They heard me, right? and because maybe he just thinks everyone has it. You know, that's kind of a weird thing. You know, like that thing where it's like some people can't like see their in their brain, they can't like visualize shit. And I'm like, what do you mean? What is that? Like, if I want to be at Six Flags right now, I'm on Six Flags. Like, I could do that. Some people can't put pictures in their brain. That is one of those things. It's like, you're not, like, Luffy doesn't know if Sanji is voice of all things. Like, actually, you know? It's not like they ask. They barely asked about hockey. Luffy just assumed. And so it's like, maybe Rock's just like, oh, this must be an everyone thing. Everyone could just hear shit talking when nothing's happening. And then he's like, it's like, just go on without me. And then, like, Whitebeard and them are pissed. They're stomping away. I can't believe that guy. And it's like, yeah, they heard my message. They're out there like, man, you didn't even say a goddamn thing to me. Like, that would be a funny way for Oda to patch that up. But like, point is what you're saying. It's like, that would be a great way to put it back. Like, he had the one last word, you know, to them. Like,
And it was goodbye, my crew.
Maybe he says, like, wait 20 years.
Oh, he gets very specific. He says, guys, do not attack Wang Ji.
Yeah, oh yeah, don't attack Wang Ji. Wait 38 years, not 20 years, 38 years, because like Odin was the 20 years. Yeah. Maybe Rox knew, and he's just like, I thought I'd make it to this day, right? Because he said that to Emu, but like, oh my god, no. It's gonna be the Vegapunk message. It's gonna be like multi-chapter dissemination. It was just Rox was spitting, and they just like were trying to follow along. You know what I mean? Oh my god, that'd be so funny. We go back like Whitebeard's perspective, and he's replaying Rox's message. What did he mean by that? We get paragraphs and paragraphs. Oh, sorry, we're gonna look so silly when that day comes.
We're gonna look so stupid, let me tell you. It's just one of those things, man. We just have to wait till One Piece is over before we can criticize it.
Yeah,
because you never know. Like, you know, maybe we'll not get it in this flashback, but after Luffy finds the One Piece, it's actually Rox's message saying, "Thank you, crew, for leaving me behind. I wanted this."
Yeah. Oh, and you know what?
Maybe he like gave him a note before today. Like, hey guys, this is Rox from the future. You can leave the crew. You have my permission. I'm cooked.
And and the other part too is like when you look at Rox, right, and what they're saying, like, we can't understand him, but I understand tears, right? That kind of reminds, there's not like when someone's Nami, when she's crying, it's like, no, I get it, you know what I mean? But in the Dami state, Rox is kind of more like the Going Merry when he's crying. Even the animation of the tears are like super exaggerated, and they're like, man, I don't know what the Going Merry's going through right now, you know? It's just, and then you just have everyone like Zoro's not crying or whatever. He's like, nah, I'm feeling it.
You know what they should have done? Oda should have made it rain on the island so nobody could see his tears.
Yeah, like the Kuzan thing, like the glasses. Yeah.
And that would make sense. It would be like, oh my god, like the reason why none of them are acting right now, it's because they can't see his tears. That's why Whitebeard left.
The tears get me so bad because they're like so exaggerated. You can't not see it. Like again, this face that he has, it's like I feel like even like Doflamingo, if he was his enemy, he'd be like, man, I feel bad for that guy. He must be going through some shit. Like I also thought about Doflamingo too, because his crew is kind of like Rox's in the sense of like they just got random dudes. Doflamingo carried their ass over the years. And then by the end of it, when we got them, they were loyal as fuck. They would put their life down on the line like nobody's business, right? There was no guarantee for anything. And Ross is everybody, top and bottom. His Diamante, his Pika. They're just like, nah. Just imagine Pika just turned into a stone and just started walking away from Dressrosa. Just like, just,
I'm done.
Holy Knight's note. Going back to because they're void in this chapter, so we'll not get back to that point. But like, it just blows my mind because again, this is another thing where we can't even insert the Holy Knights because Oda already transitioned all the crews out. Like as most of them are on their ship making their way out to sea, including the Celestial Dragon allies. So it's like hey, I was about to be crazy because I was like, oh, like the refugee ship is gonna get blown up, and then I remembered it's like, oh, we know the Celestial Dragons, and I was like, no, wait, maybe it still gets blown up, and then they're like justified for O'Hara or some shit. But I was like, no, that's crazy. And it's like, who would do it anyways? And it's like they're getting the treasure, and no one's stopping. There's no fights. There's everyone just left. I haven't even seen airports disembark this cleanly, bro. Like airplanes leaving, bro. People are fighting to get off first. The customs line, they just all knew exactly where the boats were. There was no crisscross. There was no like confusion. The Holy Knight said, I'm not gonna mess up this efficiency going on right now. Like this is pretty clean. Like I don't know.
I'm
It's
praying, dude.
wild.
I'm praying that next chapter we see like as everybody's leaving, the Holy Knights chase them down and jump on their ships. Like that is my cope. That's my cope right there.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Emu, if Oda didn't put that emu thing, I genuinely think my optimism about next chapter would have been much higher. But that emu, even if they did like the God Valley erase thing, they could have put all that. The emu sailing away in Saturn's body, looking back at God Valley, that shit didn't exist, Saturn. And it's like in a form where he can't even talk back. I'm like, oh, they're not happy about this. Is not a they dipped first. They're so far out. They got a head start.
Yeah.
It was easy pass. Like if that panel didn't exist, next chapter I probably would have been in your boat for like how you actually perceive it, right? Because I know that you and I see similar things, but we're on like more optimism, less optimism. And for me, that one killed it to me. Because when I saw that, I was like, God Valley's over. He was gone. This whole time I thought it would be rocks. Oh, they took down Dom University, but they can't deal with Emu. How did that happen? And is it another Emeth rope ass pull? What can we do to diffuse this? No, Emu just left. Like Emu just dipped. That shit blew my mind, bro. I had no words. I had no words for it. That one was funny. But I think it was softened a little bit because it was the end part of two other crazy things. You know, I don't know how much you want to talk about the Marco reveal, but that one was like,
oh yeah, the Marco reveal is next. I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah. That one hit me with whiplash, and then it was a quick succession of like, what the hell? What is happening?
Yeah,
the Marco one was my favorite, like whiplash. I just like that one.
It really catches you off guard, and it's funny because like I remember like when it came out, I was like, guys, like this is insane. Like the Polo pirates, they're just here, and everybody is like, oh, but Sai, a lot of pirate groups came to God Valley. And my rebuttal is, okay, name another pirate group. Like, okay, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, but Sai, this is broadcasted. Like, everybody's here. It's like, okay, define everybody. We have Rox and Roger, who we've known about. But besides that, who else is here? Like, I get it, right? I understand. Like, yeah, people came. You know, this is broadcasted by Morgan's. But it's like, what other pirate groups are here other than the Polo pirates that we care about? None. We don't even know their names. We've never even seen Jolly Rogers or other ships.
I'm pretty sure
it's just the Polo pirates.
pirates called them fodder. Like at one point, like we have to get through all this. They really think they have a chance at this treasure, and it's
That's
like, yeah,
so
like
funny, dude.
all right, who made it to the middle? Wasn't it just Rocks and Roger? Like, all right, guys, even if they were named, do they matter? Like, they don't really count. It's kind of crazy that like, you know, but even then they provided more resistance. Like Maffy was just a roadkill. But the pirates, they were it's Maffy, pirates, random pirates, and Garp. And then we know that Roger was on the other side. Their ass was fighting Marco's dad. All right, they were dealing with some shit. Okay, I was wondering this entire time, like Roger's here, Holy Knights are here, all the pirates are here. Who is Roger fighting? Now I know, right? It was probably the Polo pirates on that side. Then he grouped in, and that's why he collided with Gio, right? He kicked his ass, and we were like,
Dude,
bro, Silver
yeah.
Axe shows up, and there's no aura. There's his
Minus
aura has
aura.
just been tanking throughout all of this. It's
And it's
kind
even
of
one of those
insane.
things where it's like maybe the reason why we don't see like the other pirate groups is because they're fighting the Holy Knights. But at that point, do we care? Like genuinely, we don't
The
care. Like
randoms.
nobody cares about these other pirate groups.
Who's stronger? The random, like, okay, maybe not a captain, but like the first hand of any of those crew or Strawson, right? Because that's what I mean before. I was like, are the Holy Knights even Strawson level? Like, I don't know what level the other, but he's a rocks pirate. Actually, I would put more money on young Strawson than some of these hooligans. You know what I mean? That didn't even make it past the trees. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that, you know, then we got Marco. He's in there. He's different. The Polo Pirates are there. It was actually canonically the Polo Pirates, Roger, and Rocks. They're the big three. That's the big three of the Arrow. The Polo Pirates are up there. That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah,
It's like the Kid Heart and the Straw Hats at Onigashima. That's what it is. And
it's
we mean on their crew
something.
too. We mean on
Also,
their
I
crews
love
too.
that Polo is like his name just for the Marco Polo meme. Which,
Yeah.
funny enough, they don't say that this is like Marco's dad. We just make that assumption. So I love the memes
Yeah.
of people saying, "Oh, like Marco is actually just Polo using the Phoenix Delver to reincarnate as a 7-year-old boy." Because right now Marco should be alive. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like he reincarnates as like as a wee lad. But one thing we do have apparently in the Japanese to connect them
Uh-huh.
is how Marco says "yoi" at the end of some of his
Uh,
sentences.
He
Apparently,
says the same
Polo
thing.
says "no" at the end of his sentences. So like
So
it,
it
yeah.
combines.
I don't know if it
Gotcha.
combines, but like
Oh,
they have like the verbal
oh,
tick.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. These flips. That's interesting. It's also like I was thinking about it, like so Marco is like a Nepo baby, but also like Marco versus Ulti in page one. Like, are they because they're kind of the same circumstance. It's like the random strong guy that like he had a warlord, Kaido. He took the kids on like they were his own. That's Marco to Whitebeard. That was besides Ace, Marco was the number one, right? And like I mean, even with Ace, I think that Marco's the like number one. Um, if you really think about it, I think Whitebeard probably would have intervened with Marco. Hey, just don't let's not do with the Blackbeard stuff right now. But he let Ace, despite all the warnings, despite everything, he let him go after Blackbeard. Not yeah, especially at that age when he's looking at Blackbeard and looking at the spitting image of Rocks. So there's many question marks on that one. But I feel like he would be like, Marco, I need you to stay alive. You're my goat, right? And the Marco Polo thing is I really like it because like I mentioned Marco Polo in I think 2 or 3 of my old videos, not because I thought it was important or related to Marco, but simply because Marco Polo was one of the most prolific and foundational and also influential adventurers in our history. He like shaped so much understanding for sailing for he's Christopher Columbus's inspiration. Like that's his Shanks. That's his Roger. And Marco Polo is him. And Marco Polo's history is awesome. Like like I'm not saying he's a good guy, whatever. Like the stories, there's some myth, there's some things that are confusing, but the way he wrote the stuff, it was like it was a bestseller at that time. That's why it got spread. So I think someone in comments was saying like, oh, this might be like the Bragman introduction, like lineage. Like we got Bragman and Elbaf. Why was it necessary to bring him here to introduce this Marco Polo thing? Maybe Louis Arnaud is related to this Polo family, and whether that pans out as a full theory, we obviously don't have enough. But Marco Polo as a character is a character that could be expanded any which direction. I mean, Elbaf is due for one technically because Leif Erikson is another like version of like a Marco Polo where Leif Erikson was a legendary adventurer that for the Vikings and the Norse history, like looked at Greenland and Iceland and traveled, and he probably made it to America too, but like it was too far of a trek and they stopped there or whatever. And in a lot of ways he's very similar to Marco Polo, so Elbaf is kind of due for one. Louis Arnaud is in that position. Marco Polo, again, another thing that this is the part that I mentioned, is that Wano was given the epithet by Gyukimaru, saying that in the past it wasn't the land of swords and samurai, it was the land of gold. And Ryuma defended against the world because of that epithet. Everyone was coming to Wano, which that is a questionable thing because Shandora is supposed to be the city of gold, whatever. And we haven't really seen that much gold in Wano. Even we've seen the ancient system, it's not like it's made out of gold. And we actually like saw it. And Robin commented like, hey, there's no decay because it was made out of wood, not gold. And it was freshwater, not saltwater. So, but Marco Polo is the reason why Japan had that association in our world. Because when he traveled to Japan, they assume or theorize that he saw like Buddhist temples that were adorned with so much gold, and he looked at that slice of Japan that he got when he stopped by and was like, if all of Japan is caked up in gold like this is the land of gold. This is insane. And so also with Marco Polo is again, his stories were, it was kind of like regarded with Noland, but with a Louis Arnaud kind of thing, where it's like Noland was like a liar, right? But like people believed in him at the start, no matter how extreme they just couldn't fathom land of dwarves and giants, whatever. Louis Arnaud or the Bragman is kind of like, yeah, it's truthful, but like it's probably not real. Like Marco Polo is in between there, where he was saying real stuff, but like people couldn't fathom it, so they're like, he's probably exaggerating, but like, wait, no, but the king did verify this. All this stuff happened. So like, I'm not mad at this reveal. I'm shocked at the reveal that this is where we got it. I'm super excited. This is really cool. I wonder what Oda's gonna do with it. If it's anything like Oda's done with Marco in the past, where it's like, here, Marco, here's this letter to deliver or whatever, and then it's just like, I'll be there.
And then he just shows up with the letter.
Yeah, he's like, what was the point of this? Like, hey, listen, guys, he is not a first rung character, not even a second rung character. He's like a third rung character. And Oda can make him more important. He can upgrade him. I just haven't seen it yet. I just really, he's done cool things. Don't get me wrong, but he's not priority. He unfortunately isn't. All of his friends are dead too. So
yeah, shout outs, man. Shout outs to the grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he wants to work with Whitebeard. Hey, team up with me instead. Interesting, because, obviously, like, Whitebeard eventually owns this guy's son. So it's like, wait, does Whitebeard work under Polo? Is it like a joint venture? Or is Whitebeard like, no, you're working under me? And Polo's like, you know what? Sure, because I'm a fan of yours. So it's like,
yeah, it's
interesting. I like it.
Yeah. Does Whitebeard leave the crew and take the kid, or does Polo be like, I know the ship is mine and Pyre crew's mine and the crew name is mine. I'm giving it all for you. You're strong. You're just that cool, Whitebeard.
Is he even still alive? I mean, there's
Maybe
theories
he's such a big fan.
There's theories right now that Polo is actually the man marked by flames.
Oh shit, that's kind of fire. Wait, that I didn't even think about that. That is a doable one. I like that. He would be really old.
Yeah.
So like for him to have a reputation now, and he's just again like
We haven't
the
seen his
most he did was
ship.
kick Silver Axe. Like he didn't really do anything that crazy. Whereas Marco has a Phoenix fruit. Like I don't know. It'd be crazy if he's alive. That means he wouldn't have that fruit. Not to burst those people's bubbles, but there's that. I was thinking more of like the bird. Barto is like the chicken, and they're both really big fans. So I was like, oh, maybe he's like Whitebeard's Barto. Like Barto would 100% have a kid and be like, "Hey, can you take my kid Luffy? Can we do solid?" He's like, "No, your kid's ass." Whitebeard wouldn't do that. Whitebeard would be like, "Yes,
I will
even
take your
this kid who
son.
stabbed me in the future is my son, right?" Like, the Whitebeard be like, "Yeah, I'd take your kid, whatever." Like that's how I took it, but we don't have it. I don't know if it's like Barto level. I just saw Bird Association, Big Pirate
Do
Association.
you
Boom.
do you think that Marco's aboard the Polo Pirate ship right now, or do you think he's like on an island somewhere? Because this could go like the Ulti Page One route, where the dad was a pirate, but Ulti and Page One were just like kids, and then they heard their dad died, and like, oh, we're joining your crew, Kaido. Like, it could be one of those things where Marco's just actually on an island, and then after his dad dies, like, oh, Whitebeard, I want to join, and Whitebeard's like, oh, sure, why not?
I'm gonna be racist, but it's gonna be a plot twist. If that is the case, Graham is Indian. He's Indian, bro. He was like,
What?
you have to be a doctor in a land
Oh,
of pirates. All these things, Marco. You have to read the books. His ass gets his devil fruit at like 8 or some shit, and he's already like a
is that like an
phoenix.
Indian thing?
Yeah, you have to be an engineer, doctor, lawyer, and it's like, bro, in a world of pirates, he still forced. He couldn't hire a doctor. He forced his son, and there's so many cooler occupations. You have to not even navigator, doctor. It would make way more sense to train his son to be a navigator. No, Marco, day one, baby, you got to be a doctor, bro.
Putting
Your
in
dad's
that
gonna be the
work.
man marked by flames. They're gonna call me the man with the burn scar. You gotta treat those burns, right? Like, it would be funny
Please,
if he was just
Marco.
perpetually on fire and like we get some crazy ass backstory and Marco's like, that's the only flame I can't fix. And like, cause he has the flame and everyone's on fire or whatever, but his dad is just perpetually getting burned. And it's like the law backstory with his dad. His dad's not enjoying. He's not the man marked by flames by choice. He's just screaming in the air. Ah, just on fire.
What
We never
interesting
thought
backstory
about
you're
that.
cooking up for Marco.
Not even Marco. Marco's dad. For Graham,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Interesting.
it's also Graham, not Graham, because TCB did like Graham Cracker. So people were like, "Oh, Par, I'm telling you right now, he has the biscuit fruit," and I'm like,
That'd be
"What?"
so funny. I've heard
Yeah, I was
I've seen
confused, but then I
Japanese
got it.
translators do Graham. But I
Yeah.
mean either way it's the
TCB did
same
that.
thing. It's pronounced the same, so it's fair
Yeah.
enough.
Well, Graham is weight, so maybe there's something there. Maybe he carries a lot of weight. I don't know, like
Maybe he's a
Marco.
fat ass. He's like skinny
Maybe
fat.
Marco's. How like oh no. Well, I already cursed, but like a shit
Go
ton
for it.
is an
Oh,
actual metric. Like that is an actual metric, like a measurable metric. And so is F ton. That is also like an actual thing. So like maybe Marco is a metric. Graham, Marco, like maybe their families are all measurements.
ah.
Uh,
Ooh,
mhm, mhm.
Marco X Miss Valentine. I ship it, dude. Somebody's got to get with her.
Oh wait, isn't she with that Prince guy? No, the Prince guy married Miss Wednesday, right?
Yeah, and plus Miss Valentine came there to kill the prince guy anyways.
Yeah,
And then
maybe
yeah,
that'd be kind of good.
yeah. Marco X Miss Valentine. Ship it, guys. It's gonna be a thing. Just wait for it. Literally.
Yeah, yeah.
So next up we got Gil Bastar, Ganzui, and Stussy. Shout outs to all the Rocks pirates. None of them died on the island. That's very surprising.
Yeah.
But here we
Easy
have
place
it.
for people to die.
Yeah, easy. I mean, should be an easy place for people to die, considering, you know, Marines, Holy Knights, yeah,
Emu.
Emu. Yeah. Anyways, Gil
This
potentially has
does
the Horo Horo.
this does break theories too, because the theory of like this being Thriller Bark, a lot of it was originally built on the idea that they died at God Val. Because we didn't know with like
Yeah.
the main ones, it's like, yeah, they lived. It became what happened to the other ones? Oh, well, they died. And then White Moria takes it. That's where he gets all the corpses. Nope. Moria, his mission was S tier difficulty, bro. It was not
Moria
two
was
islands
actually
that
out there
carried.
exploring. The reason why everybody loves Roger, the Explorer title, that's Moria, brother. That is
Yeah.
freaking Moria.
Oda did not make it easy. And it just added the Perona Ghost. That one is just a random
Yeah.
thing.
So what's up with him having 4 arms? It's got to be a special so it's either a special race or it's like the idea where it's like, oh, because Perona could like alter her body size whenever she's in her ghost form, maybe this is his ghost form whenever he has 4 arms. Like that could be it. And then of course, like to mirror his ability, Hogback just attached 2 extra arms. Like that's got to be it, right? Because there's no other explanation. It's either that or a special race.
His ability, according to the wanted source material, was that he's a gunslinger who is so fast it looks like he has multiple arms, right? That's like the original thing. He moves so quickly. He doesn't actually like.
I don't know.
That's what people were saying to me in the thing, that in the thing he doesn't actually have it, but he moves so fast. And then the part that was not part of the thing was that they were saying Perona's ghost is in there and it's a 1-to-1, which you disproved that one.
Yeah, it's not a
because you
1-to-1.
went back. It's not the 1-to-1.
He has a ghost in Wanted, but it's not the Horo Horo ghost.
And from my understanding, I it didn't see, like, if it was the case that he had a ghost power, then I'm sure a lot of people like, Par, this was just in the source material. So like I'm pretty certain, I'll be confident, even though I didn't read it, that they didn't even like imply that the ghost was like a part of his power. But I'm guessing what Sai is saying is probably the case, because Perona was able to make like astral projections. So whether I mean, we've seen Captain John kind of clear kid in his utilization, and he's supposed to be a Yonko candidate. So, you know, a Yonko slayer, if you will. And Perona's just a commander of a warlord of pre-time skip. So we don't even, need much from her. And she was kind of shoehorned. She didn't really use her power like
also
to that extent.
Shout outs. So there's just one guy in the chat who said that he moves so fast he looks like he has 4 arms. I just skimmed through all of Wanted. That's not a thing.
Oh my god,
that's not a thing.
There was
we got said. No, it was just one guy that said it. I know who you're talking about. It was one dude.
They super chatted. They paid money for this one. That's why I'm like,
yeah, they super chatted, but they weren't correct. I mean, I'm going through the chapter my 3rd time now. I do not see 4 arms at once. They don't even say that, by the way. So obviously, kind of like the Ryuma Wanted one shot. Gil one shots the bad guy.
No, it was a comment. It was in the chat, not in the.
He one shots the guy, and it's just from a distance, kind of like Yasop, where it just shoots him and that's it. It's not like, oh, he's moving so fast, there's like 4 arms there. That's not a thing, unless it's in the dialogue and it's just never shown. But
it's not a thing for him.
Looking at all the images, it's like, huh.
But it is a believable One Piece thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's how funny it is. It's like,
it's
whether
a believable
it is or
One
not,
Piece thing.
It's like it as far as now, just like this. Okay, so the super chat just says the Perona ghost thing, but I'm assuming a few people in the chat.
It was one guy. I know it was just one guy.
Dang. Okay, so then I just read it, and then
it was one guy, because I remember they said that, and in my head I was like, okay, that's silly. That's not gonna be the case. I don't remember that.
Did someone at him afterwards and say like, I like that idea, or W idea or whatever? Because
I have no
sometimes
idea.
I like see people saying that, and then I'll go back. And
no, I just remember seeing that once, and then I said, oh, that's silly. I'm not even gonna look for this right now, because I already skimmed the chapter once and I didn't see it.
Yeah, but you did look at the ghost part.
Yeah, I'm skimming it 4 times now. There's no 4 arms. Like they just made that up.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's like the person who said that the ghost looks like Perona's ghost. It doesn't. You guys are just making things up.
Two separate people.
Two separate people both making things up. Yes, he has a ghost.
About the same thing.
He has a ghost, but it looks nothing like Perona's ghost, guys. I mean, I guess you could say the size of it, which, like, I mean, that's the size of every ghost, sure. Like, the ghost in Gil Bastar's Wanted one-shot, it has a face, hair, and clothes.
It'd be
like it's not the same.
Like, and I would give this one a slide because it is true, but like it'd be like me saying like this ghost looks exactly like Perona's ghost. It's like, no, the head is obviously different. I don't even know why the head is like Frankie's chin, but like yes, the face and everything else, but like it still would be a little disingenuous to even say that much when you guys were like, yo, these ghosts 1-to-1 in size, like what? Hello.
And by the way, I'm giving this guy the one chatter like a lot of grace here, because I'm going through the chapter a 5th time right now. And I'm starting to read the dialogue, and there's no mention of forearms, there's no image of forearms. If anything, this guy's kind of like a buffoon. He reminds me of Usopp.
Is it like
I mean, he is very much like Usopp, where he, like, you know, tricks people. He's somewhat cowardly, and he runs and hides, and he shoots people from a distance. Like he's essentially just a slightly cooler version of Usopp, but with a gun.
The guy that Ryuma fought, but with a gun. Like he was faking, or was he actually
No,
good?
he's actually good.
Yeah, okay.
He's actually good, but he's also like partially a coward.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay. I just finished it the 6th time. I read a lot of the dialogue there. Yeah, no forearms. I just we're getting one guide. We're getting one.
No, this is 2 guide, but it's 2 guide on separate
on
parts,
2 different things. Yeah,
one guide.
We got spit roasted with ideas that were not true.
Again, Oda gave Mori a much harder mission. It would have been easier. Just kill him here. I think it would have been better for their characters to just die here. What's the point, right? Am I going to be excited to see Gil Bastard eventually die? So Perona's like perfectly crafted for this thing. And like, yeah, like the 4-arm things. What was the point of that? Did Oda just change his mind about Gil Bastard and said, I want to make the character less cool? Because his zombie had the 4. Maybe it's this. Maybe that
I mean,
was
not even the zombie,
corpse.
but like we saw the 4 arms at God Valley.
Oh.
No, that's the reason why this is a big thing. Like, it's not just a Thriller Bark thing. We saw 4 arms at God Valley.
Was that in the Kuma flashback, or was that?
Yeah, it was in the Kuma flashback. Maybe it's gonna get retconned. Maybe it's gonna get like changed up.
They already did that volume, right?
Yeah, they already did the volume.
Yeah.
I think it's like chapter 1096, I think.
Yeah, it's 1096.
It's when they're jumping off the ship. You see him in the background with 4 arms. Okay, I think that's the chapter.
Like the back left. Yeah, you see a guy with 4 arms right here. So let me see if I could show it on my right. Is it cut off? It is cut off a little bit.
It's cut off in your image, but that's fine. Yeah. I mean, if you're curious about Gil Bastard with 4 arms, it's 1096. He obviously has 2 arms like this, and then 2 arms going down.
This one. This
guy.
And
you could see, like, you know, people are saying, oh, it could be the jacket. The jacket's black, so it's not the jacket like hanging off in the back. It's like genuinely like 4 arms.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely, unless it's it could be like like you see a Whitebeard's jacket, like how it has that like white brim and it's floating, but like as far as when you scroll down and you see this guy who has like the hat and whatever, like that is Gil Bastard in the current chapter, because we see the hat and the glasses, and there it's like you can't make out the glasses, but the hats, he's the only guy with the hat like that. And it's like the fact that we have the guy with the 4 arms and things, like, all right, even if we're wrong, you can't fault us for wanting to believe or see the reality where Gil Bastard had 4 arms at one point. Because, like, you know, if you're looking at that and you disagree that guy has 4 arms, I think it's 4 arms. It doesn't look like just the jacket to me, but I know some people will be like, no, that's just the jacket. You guys don't know.
But the jacket's also black, so it's like,
Yeah. And so, you know, to all those people, I would also just add that, like, hey, like the Thriller Bark, like there was a random guy along with all of these Rocks pirates that had 4 arms. He seemed very notable. And then boom, we get a guy that seemingly has 4 arms. Like, my bad. Like, I thought that we thought that he had it. And I like Sai's idea where, okay, he has Perona's thing. He could easily astral project more arms. And that would kind of be sick. Because it's like her whole thing was scaring you. So like he could like phantom fire. Like, I don't even know. Like, that sounds dope. I'm not mad at that. But like, is he important enough that we're gonna get that? Like, at this point, I think his story's in an SBS, right? Like, we're not gonna get. We got Frankie's dad in an SBS, guys. Like, I don't know if we're getting Gil Bastar lore if it doesn't matter. Like, what is Perona a gunslinger now? Did I miss the part
Par,
where
we're gonna feel
Usopp
so
was fighting
stupid next chapter when Gil Bastar explains his power.
Yeah, yeah. I would like this even more because then Perona inherited a sharpshooter, like a gunslinger, devil fruit. You know how like Ace to Sabo is like, I have the will now. So that makes Usopp fighting Perona even awesomer because he was fighting a gunman, not like knowing that yeah,
Oh,
you see?
yeah. Wait a
Oh
minute.
shit. Yeah,
But I
that's the
think,
poetry.
yeah, like I said, the best idea though, aside from like it just being like a special race, just the fact that, Gil Bestar's real body's on the ship somewhere, and this is him astral projecting extra arms. Like, I think that's genuinely a good idea.
Yo, you know what'd be mad funny? If we see that, like, yeah, this is astral projection or whatever, he's carrying loot, whatever. But later on when Rox gets sad, like the whole thing is like in the Damiverse, they're like smiling and demonic and conquering, blah blah, and his tears are fighting through. But when he finally gets sad, we don't see his chest. What if the horror fruit he just threw the ghost through him, and he was the way that Roger and Garp broke this down, and he was the unsung hero. Because if he's a sharpshooter, he's like this is like the Usopp thing where he's like one hit, one opportunity, and it was the big bang with the sugar thing. He sniped his ghost at Rocks, which he wouldn't need to do because he's just standing there while Rocks or Roger and Garp are just yapping. But yeah, that'd be kind of insane. I'm not saying that's what happened, guys, but like
But stay tuned.
if we're gonna hype up Gil Bastar, maybe next chapter, maybe next we find out, it'd be crazy. We find out like he awakened this fruit, I don't even know what that would be.
Who knows, brother? Who knows? Shouts to Gil Bastar though. He looks really happy. Do you think we'll see more of him next chapter? Will Oda give us more of the goat?
Bro, I don't even know if we're gonna be on the island next chapter. I'm banking on we get like half the chapter, maybe.
It's funny. I held a poll about that.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 chapters was the majority when I voted. 1 chapter was the
second choice. Yeah,
close by like 5 points, but
yeah. Then there's some people that believe that there's gonna be 3 more, or 3 or more.
I mean, I would want more, but even when I was not entertaining that all of God Valley finished, but I said we're gonna leave God Valley this chapter, I never thought that it would just be Rock's done in 1 chapter. He literally went 2 chapters ago, he was alive. He died last chapter, and we're not just him gone and dead, and his crew's insulting him, spitting on his grave and his memory and everything, his legacy that he's did. But it's also we're done with the island too. Ian was done with the island. Like not even my wildest predictions had I saw that coming. So I don't know, guys. I want more chapters, but we's moving. We moving, bro. At this point, I really genuinely want to ask this. What was the point of introducing the Holy Knights?
It's for the next chapter.
I feel like it would have felt better if we didn't even know their names. Like, and we went with it like Kuma's flashback, where we're like, oh, who's this guy? Oh, who's that guy? Because then we could just be like, oh, that's just some random guy that got mugged. Nah. Now we got names and families, bro.
I swear to God, it's gonna be for the next chapter. We're gonna get it, and they're gonna do something.
Yeah.
Maybe the Rocks Pirates do die on this island.
I will say this is a good. Okay, that's crazy. I was gonna say, well, hey, we could segue to that too. The Holy Knights. Maybe Oda surprised us because Oda did surprise me in the next part where he gave us a complete character flip 180, the fastest character arc I think I've seen. Period. I ain't never seen some flip like this, where Dragon standing not just on business, on his bosses. They're standing on business and they're standing on your superiors. There's levels to that. I've never heard of someone standing on their superiors. That's crazy. Because he went from yes, sir, sorry, sir, to hearing insults thrown about him. Who's this dumbass rookie? And he's like, my bad, sir. I've never shot civilians before in my life. He's like, this is a training exercise. You better get better at shooting civilians. And by the end of it, he's like, you made me do some heinous ass shit, bro. You about to die. And he's like, what do you mean die? It's like, yeah, if you don't agree with me, I'm executing your ass. And so maybe the Holy Knights are on that shit. Maybe the Holy Knights were like, we can't let them on, those filthy people. And he executed them. Maybe Dragon, that's where it all started. That's where it all started. His first taste of blood was Holy Knight blood. That could be it. Honestly, Oda could surprise me. I'll believe anything with Dragon. I'll believe anything with Dragon. Give him more W's. I saw Cole's dissonance, bro. He was like, huh? Dragon started out like a loser, but he crashed out. What's happening here?
This is his awakening, man.
Yeah, this is crazy. He wanted a hockey bloom. He wanted an awakening. I didn't care for any of that. And I'm the Dragon fan and he's the Dragon hater. And, he only cares about Dragon because anything that can scale Shanks up indirectly, he's for. So having some random guy be insanely strong but weaker than Shanks, that's Cole's agenda, right? And for me, I'm like, bro, this character development is the fastest character development. Name a character that flipped this fast. This is insane. It took Koala longer to smile, to undo the Celestial Dragon thing. This guy went from shooting civilians on command to shooting his bosses with no command. That's a flip if I've ever seen one. Everyone left God Valley with Constitution because Dragon said, "Yeah, I'm taking your asses down." Kaido's like, I'm gonna remember he punched me one time for the rest of my life. Dragon's like, I gotta abolish the world government system because
that's
of all
too
this
extreme, man.
He is a kid though.
Yeah.
Dragon's actually a kid.
I'm curious.
Kaido's just a kid, guys. No, he's 21.
I'm curious to see what the fallout of this is gonna be because I agree with the Marines there. Like something will happen because of this. Like this isn't gonna end here. So it's I wonder if what are the higher ups gonna say afterwards to Dragon? Will Garp defend him?
Smooth it over?
Obviously, God Valley, it is, but it isn't over yet. So who's to say that a Holy Knight doesn't start killing the civilians off the shore? Right? We don't know how this ends yet. So it's I am curious.
And the thing is, the world government's prerogative is to cleanse the history, so they're not going to take responsibility. They're just a lot of people saw rocks, whether demon or not. And, some people probably even saw him. He made it to the coast. So they're just pinning it on that rocks isn't insane. And yeah, Garp actually won him. That part of it, or beat him. And that part of it is the truth. And so, Garp can't take that victory because he knows, as he says in this chapter, that the world government was responsible for rocks, was responsible for that crazy monster he saw. He doesn't know what that monster was. And the silence that they or the quid pro quo is, hey, Garp, you punched Emu, but we won't kill the dragon for his thing. You're the hero. You got to accept it. You're not allowed to talk about it, and we're not executing Dragon for shooting. If Dragon actually kills somebody, then yeah, he probably gets the death penalty. And if trading Dragon's life for Garp to stay quiet, Garp would take that. I think that he's biting his tongue, right? And probably is why he got pissed even more that he went to the Revs. He's like, bro, all this shit I did for you, I kept my ass quiet for so many years. And you do this to me. You make me look so bad all the goddamn time, And my bad. But yeah, it's just kind of wild that Dragon's in this position. I think the easiest way is just gonna be you're not gonna get reprimanded because Garp saved the world. Because Rox is gonna be king of the world if he didn't stop him. which is the propaganda, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna get something like that.
Yeah.
So the next thing we get after the dragon segment is simply just Emu leaving the island. I think that's super silly. I can't believe he just left. Like, considering the fact that, Immortal, he wants to witness the extermination of the Davy clan, it's like, okay, he's actually leaving. It kind of makes me wonder if they're gearing up a Lelucia type weapon. Like, maybe there's leftover Mother Flame from the Void Century, and then after this, they need to get, like, more from Vegapunk. Like, that's it. Or maybe Emu has an island busting attack. Something I saw somebody say, and it was just so funny. They said, why does everything have to be an ancient weapon? Can't they just use the same thing that destroyed Ohara? I'm like, brother, Ohara's still there. First up, Ohara's still there. Like, the book survived. So that would be a bad idea to begin with.
The lake. The lake. The tree.
Yeah, it's
the
literally
tree
in the
also
lake.
Still there.
And it's like, if they just Buster Call it, then, I mean, it's still gonna be here. Like, so they just, like, what, erase it from the, like, literally just erase it from a map and just everybody forgot it existed? Like, nah, dude. Like, it's gotta be something that just destroys the island or moves the island even.
Yeah, and
surely.
Not to harp on an old record or whatever the saying is, but in the Fraud Valley video, I was saying, like, hey guys, there's a possibility it's literally all they did is erase it from the maps. And that's based off of what was told to us. That is a minimum that is possible. And you compare it to, like, okay, how would that be believable? Well, you brought up the Ohara thing. In the Ohara thing, they didn't care about hiding Ohara as an island because they used it to demonize them, right? They wanted the people dead. Buster calls the appropriate thing to kill people, right? But like Sai said, it couldn't even destroy the books. For all intents and purposes, God Valley should be closer to, like, Lelucia than Ohara, because it's like erasing the lore drop that people, again, I understand why that was a thought. I believe that too. But that's why I'm like, hey guys, like, some of the stuff that people are saying about God Valley is expecting way too much. Like, I don't know if all of these ducks are gonna line up. One of these ducks are missing, and it's like, yo, the Holy Knights are missing. Saturn and Emu were missing. But also on this part where, like, like I said, like, there's a very real possibility that we're just going to get that the God Valley incident was an S-level top secret classification, records of a clandestine operation and special hazard pay for naval base G11 Cipher Pole 9 or 6. Registry of participants in the human hunt expunged. Site of event God Valley. Island location. Population details erased. Look at that. Verb, I get what people want from a maximum, but here, if you take it at face value, even from the TCB thing, it's saying the participants' names, not even the participants. They can't like, I don't even know if Saturn's, like, admitting that he saw, because he shouldn't know that Kuma sent 500 people off, because apparently he didn't even know where he went, because surely he would have pursued him and stopped him from doing that, but he didn't, and he's a buccaneer, whatever. Point is that we don't even know if they know that 500 people escaped, but they couldn't go as far as saying that humans themselves, the participants, were, like, all gone. And the participants of what the Celestial Dragons was expunged, who cares? When would they ever post that anyways? And then after the expunged, they go, just the site, the name, all that stuff was erased. And it's like, it's talking about, like, records, the registry. So even from there, it's like, the minimum there is just delete, shred, that's it. And people are bringing up, like, Ace, it went to a naval base and burned a bunch of files. And it's like, what if these are some of the files, just like, and that's essentially what they did. And Emu's looking on the island. Yeah, maybe Emu has a thing. I'm sorry, Emu's the furthest from this island than anybody else. It's actually insane. And the only thing that I'm kind of like I'm on the boat that they just terraformed it. They just took off all the people. No one wants to talk about it. Just like Whitebeard and the other them, everyone, the citizens would probably be too afraid to say that they're from God Valley. That makes sense. Them staying quiet makes sense, because if they say that they're God Valley, it gets back to the Navy. Some people would find out. Cipher Pole and base G11, they would know, and then they would hunt your ass down. So, like, that part makes sense. But, like, But then I'm thinking like, in a fantastic thing, like maybe they did move the island. Like, the continent puller. Maybe there's something there. Maybe they transported the island. They have a teleportation thing, and that's where Bonaro Island came back into relevancy. And that's when I waited for the rock to fall down both sides. And then when you compare the architecture and the look of it, it does kind of look like the same thing, and it would fit like Blackbeard going there for some reason. There's like a romantic idea, but then there could be treasures. There's each treasure chest, the main treasure chests were each a billion berry. What if one of them was left? That's enough to fund everything. Think back at what Rox did. The first thing Rox needed to do was, yeah, he needed to ascertain something, which was Emu. He left, got a crew, and got money. That was the first two things. He robbed a ship before the crew. He got the money, got the crew, paid them to then get more money. There was finances, and that's what he was doing. Also, he wanted Luffy for the bounty. He settled on Ace, but then he's like, okay, if he needs money, he has his crew, he needs money. So why was he there? Maybe for treasure. That all fits. The main problem is Bonaro Island is in the Grand Line, and this is in the West Blue. And so if there is a world, maybe they don't erase it, because I don't know if they have ancient weapon thing, and Buster Call isn't applicable here. The only thing I think of is like maybe they transported it somehow. And when I was thinking about it, I'm like, old Par would have been like knock up streams, because I pushed an idea that they, could do that kind of thing. But now they just have straight up teleportation. I don't know what the limit is on teleporting islands, right? Like if we could teleport people, you could teleport furniture. I don't see why you can't teleport an island if Emu was involved. That seems like a very plausible thing, And then the other part that adds the ante to it is if it is Bonaro Island, the significance there is that it's in the Grand Line, and so in order to get there, you wouldn't be able to use a log post, which would make Blackbeard and Ace being there even more significant. But that part's just a theory. The other part, the minimum isn't too great, and I don't know. Emu's gone, bro. Emu's left. I don't know if they're gonna do anything more. I don't know if they go back to the flower chamber and then like snap. Maybe that's the cope. Emu's not strong enough on the ship. Maybe Emu needs to go back home. Right?
Nah.
Yeah.
I think Emu's strong enough here. Yeah. Maybe Saturn destroys the island with their powers.
Not enough mass. They don't have enough mass, right? Ultra mass.
Ultra mass is what they call it. Yeah. I mean, Saturn, we can't underestimate his powers too. Like his eye powers could just destroy the island at a moment's notice.
No, he probably developed them here. This is his bloom. His 780
his eye
year bloom. Yeah, because he didn't use that power here. So when does he get that power? He's like, oh
I
damn,
think
I
he
need
used
something
it
that
against
makes this
Kuma
quicker.
actually, right?
In this? Oh
yeah, he uses it against Kuma during the Kuma flashback.
At 8 years old, stronger than a Commodore? A Vice Admiral? Like, is that
Buccaneer body? It goes a long way.
That's crazy, bro. That's how we're scaling shit now. Like,
yeah,
lineage is greater than trained military men that have hockey. Insane.
You know it. And then there's Clap, who just dies to like a single bullet.
All right, to be fair, he was like on his last leg. He probably didn't even want to. He probably wanted to go to heaven. Yeah, his wife just got shot too. So it's like,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably like he's probably weighing like, do I go see unnamed wife that Oda didn't give a name, or do I see my son who's gonna have the best flashback in the series, only to be trumped by the obnoxiously in-depth
people
Loki flashback.
They've been saying that they're like, oh, Psy Clap's been going through hardship. He was at 1 HP. It's like, was he really? Like, is he? I don't know, dude. That's some weak stuff.
You know what they said? They said that when
like I would accept more so that he was looking for a place to die because his wife is dead. He's like, oh, no reason to live. I want to get killed by this one bullet. Like I'd accept that more than just saying he was at 1 HP.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. The 1 HP, but I'm also saying like, the lore is like when the enslaved were like felt helpless, they prayed for Nika, and in the moment he died, he was dancing. So it's kind of like his prayers were answered. kind of. He got the
Oh yeah, he
liberation.
got liberated from life itself.
Yeah, because he wanted to be
Yeah.
with the unnamed wife. He's like, God damn it. It was better to be
It's so
unnamed. Why
crazy
did
knowing
Oda
that
name
she has
me
no
Clap?
name.
Which one's better, being
I
unnamed or
forgot
Clap?
because we were making
Clap
fun
dude
of her,
shit
right?
sucks.
Because we were calling her yeah, we're calling her Cheeks, right? So Clap and Cheeks or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
shouts
Or
to her.
Bull. Yeah, Bull and Crap. Yeah.
Yeah, that's whew, what a cursed family. And then we have just Kuma out of nowhere. Speaking of Kuma, have you seen the Starbucks cup?
Mm, I I think I saw something vaguely, but like I don't remember. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah. They
was
have
Kuma
like
related
a
to?
no, they got like a bear cup that they're selling for like
Oh, the new
their
Lububu.
yeah, it's like their holiday festivities. It's like, oh, like we're selling a bear cup, guys, and everybody's going crazy over it. To be fair, it's like a glass
I hate
bear cup. It's
people.
kind of cute. Got like a
I hate
winter's
people.
hat. It's like
As long
30
as they don't make it,
bucks and everybody's
if they
fighting over
go,
it.
if they make it like collectible and like they start changing up the bear design a little bit. Oh, do you have the summer bear? Do you have the fresco bear or grande bear? Like they start doing that shit and people start labooing it. I hate people, bro.
People are already
I
going
went
crazy
to
over it. Let me
I
tell
went
you.
to like an orchard with my friend and like I love orchards. I love like this apple cider donuts, like fall time. If you haven't been and you come to Northeast, that's something a lot of people should do. Realize it's like not something that people get to experience. It's really great. You get homemade fudge, like all this crazy maple butter sweet stuff, which if you're Canadian, you know what it is. Maple butter is awesome. And then I'm like, dude, this place is great. And I get to the cashier place and you know, like the cashier, they like do the thing like impulse purchases, right? I shit you not, bro. They were selling rocks for $20. They were like not even crazy rocks. It was just a rock with their logo painted on by like a 5-year-old. And I'm like, ain't no way. This has to be some Gen Z ass, Labubu ass dude who's just like, people will buy anything. I'm just gonna start picking up these rocks from the side of the road and painting our symbol on it and sell it for $20.
I bet it
And I'm
worked.
like, that I got so upset. It just kind of ruined my day. I went and go pick apples, had some pears, got some maple butter. And I'm like, this day's good. And I just saw those rocks. People buy this shit, bro. They sell one of those rocks, it's worth it. One of those rocks. That's literally a bet. Like that Gen Z, I bet you it's a Gen Z like intern who is pitching ideas like, hey, we give the interns one idea this month. What's your idea? Rocks, trust me. If I sell one, it already covers the cost. And they're like, all right, Billy. All right, it's not hurting my
Show
bottom
us what you
line, you
got.
know? Yeah, and then he does it, and then there's like, oh my God, did you get the limited edition October rock from the orchard? I'm collecting all the rocks at the orchards. And then the other orchards are also like, what do you mean you have to start selling rocks? Like, what the fuck? Like, they're selling for $20. Quick, get all the rocks. Like, the shit was
Hey,
insane. I think it was
solid ass business
$24.
strategy, man. People want
It
the
wasn't even
exclusive
20.
stuff.
It wasn't even 1999. I think it was literally in the 20s. Like, it's so greedy, so insane.
I can't hate it. If anything, I
Yeah.
respect it. I respect the grind set, brother.
I got it when they did it what in like the 2000s, that guy who sold rocks. That one made sense. There wasn't much going on in life. Like we didn't have Amazon, we didn't have eBay really. Like he had to make his own website and he killed it. Awesome. I can't hate on that. But this new age, bro, they buy anything. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Me with my 10 Starbucks cups in the background. Yeah. What
Anything
can
for a TikTok video.
they'll just buy anything nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
Pushes my little
You
boo boos to
pick
the
up.
side. Wait a minute.
Yeah, you pick up the thing and you just start sipping. It's the bear.
Yeah. Joke's on you. I'm actually an enjoyer of this.
Yeah, that's why we push the call an hour, is because you need to run out to Starbucks to grab one.
No, apparently people have been going to Starbucks at like 3 a.m. to camp outside for them. But
I hate people.
what they've been doing though is that they make it to where employees can actually buy the cups first. So the employees have been buying the cups,
This
and then
is
by the
just
time the customers get there, it's all sold out. That's kind of
this is
scummy,
just
I'll
real
admit.
life.
Kind
Yeah,
of
that's real life
scummy.
crypto. That's a real life rug pull, like in your face rug pull. Like that's
I'd be
crazy.
upset, bro. Like I I get why some customers are crashing out, man. Like, bro, I've been waiting here since like 3 a.m. and the employees bought all of them because apparently the employees have no cap on how many they can buy too. So the employees are buying them and scalping them.
Oh,
I said, bro, that's
messed up.
cursed. That should literally be like a policy, like, you know, like, hey, you can only buy one cup. What the hell?
You can't just go out of stock before opening because
that's
your
what I'm saying, dude.
Bought it, and then what do they buy it with on discount? Like, do they get an employee discount too?
I think
like,
so.
Do they get to use Starbucks rewards for it? Like, can they pay with like reward money?
So I'm going today to see if they have like any cups left for me.
Yeah, what the hell, bro? That's crazy. That's crazy.
How dare they? What does life come to?
Yeah, I will say though,
just fight people over cups.
There was in the pandemic. I'm not gonna put the person under the flame of it, but a clothing company, like, you know, one of the regular ones. But like, you know how there's tiers to it, like Old Navy, Gap, like there's like tiers to it. There's regular clothes, and then there's clearance, and then they have those like randomly high end like jackets, golf line, whatever, and they're actually really nice. Like I actually went to the thing the other day and I got like a golf like thing, and it was pretty good. I was like, wow, this is breathable, pretty good price, pretty good quality.
You said breathable?
Yeah, because it's like I sweat a lot, so I need like airism from Uniqlo.
Oh, breathable. Like, I thought you meant like breathable, like you're gonna have sex with it.
Oh no,
I was about to say, that's crazy, dude. I've never had a shirt so good I want to just jizz on it, man. But you know,
says the guy
you're a friend of mine, so I'd be okay with it. So if you do that part, you can tell me, dude.
You literally bullied Lay's by essentially implying that they are not putting their most breedable flavor of chips out.
I'll never forget that.
Breeding our chips.
I remember, Lay's reached out to me. They're like, "Hey, can we use your video to show like our, you know, for like some company meeting for Lay's?" And they're like, "But we're gonna have to like cut out some parts." And I was in my head, I was like, "I know what part they're gonna cut out. They're gonna cut out the part where I say I have sex with a bag of chips." Because like, there's no way you show that to a CEO. Right? What's up?
It was like an old bag of the flavor you wanted, or it was in like, what was the message?
So to anybody who doesn't know the lore, I think the videos are on this channel. They could be unlisted. I don't know for sure.
The original videos.
Yeah, the original videos. So before I started doing One Piece content, which I was still doing One Piece content at that time, Flamin' Hot Lay's changed their flavor. And they added like blue cheese and like a couple of other things that's just really weird. And I hated it because I've been eating Lay's for like almost my entire life. So when I saw that they did that, I was kind of annoyed. So I made like multiple videos. Like I made a petition, a change.org thing. I emailed their company, and eventually they changed the flavor back. And they reached out and they're like, "Oh my God, like, you know, you made a difference. We're changing the flavor back, yada, yada." They came to my house and they gave me like 60 or 100 bags of Flamin' Hot Lay's. It was cool. I have like a certificate and a bag of Lay's with my name on it. It's like a collector's thing. But in one of the videos, you know, before I got more PG, which I consider like this, all the videos have made now very PG. But back in the day, I used to talk about like coming, jizzing, effing bags. And I was like, yeah, you know, I got a bag of Lay's that I visit in a dark room every day, and I just go at it, and I just let loose my anger. And that was the video they messaged me. They're like, "Hey, can we show this to our company heads? But also, we might need to cut some things out, haha." It's like, really? you think you have to cut something out, huh? Like I was kind of embarrassed because, you know, when I make these videos, it's like, yeah, nobody watches it. But it's like, wait a minute, people are gonna see this? Hold up.
I forget how we got here.
Should we go back to One Piece?
Steps? What was this? No, we were talking about One Piece, weren't we?
I don't think we were. I don't think we were talking about One Piece, brother. I don't think we were talking about One Piece. Okay, anyways, God Valley incident. They talk about marine base G11, Cyprol 6. And if you guys forgot what G11 is, that is a Navy base. Yeah. And I don't know. We haven't seen G11. We've seen G6, G2, and G something else.
5.
Was it 5?
G5 and Caribou's was on the stake at G5. Jinbei saved him. G5 is Smoker's place, and Virgo's place.
G6
G2
is something else. Is G8 the filler one?
G7 is the filler one, I think.
Yeah, one of those. What, like 6, 7, or
Yeah.
8? It's filler. And then there's
Two
the
is
one
the
where Kobe and Hell
ace.
Meppo were at. That's G9, G14.
I think 14. I think
Yeah, but
14.
either way, we haven't seen G11, so this is a brand new Navy base. Will it matter? I don't think so. It's like saying, does Cyberpole 6 matter? I mean, they're just...
They
We've
were the
beaten them,
first
like, multiple times, right?
to be kidnapped at Vegapunk.
Yeah, I think they were kidnapped at Vegapunks, and then I think, was that the one with the
Boxer.
twins
Oh, maybe it was the twins.
at Eni's lobby?
I thought it was the boxer. Wanze was 5, C5, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, CP6. It might have been the
think-
boxer.
Yeah, I think it was the boxer.
Well, if I type in Cypherpole 6, will there actually be like a list of like
Yeah, there
agents
should be.
there? All right.
There should
Oh,
be.
here we go. CP6. Let's see here. Cypherpole 6 on the wiki. Who pops up?
Oh my god. Oh wait, no, never mind. Other Cypher Pole.
Oh my god.
Jerry Jabari.
Yeah, you're
Nero.
right. It's the
Nero's-
boxer, and it's Jabari. Yeah, Jabari's the guy that attacked Big News Morgans.
Yeah, and Nero was in. He got
Promoted.
he got promoted. There you go.
Yeah, so Cypherpole 6, they have made some moves in the last decade.
Wait a second. Hold on. The boxer was Nero. Nerona CP6 might be the Nerona family.
The boxer was Jerry.
Oh,
Nero was the guy that got promoted, and he's like the cat weasel guy.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Wait, his design's actually, I forgot how crazy his design is.
Yeah, Nero,
Yeah.
was he in the manga? I think he's a... Oh, yeah, he was in the manga. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, was he from CP6? I don't think he was. It just said... Okay, no. It just said he was promoted. We don't know if he was from CP6, though.
I'm gonna hop off Nero. That character is pretty interesting.
I love Nero.
I remember CP6. Yeah, I doubt that.
Do you remember his
their
nickname?
Names. The slasher, the hash slinging slasher.
No, they called him the Sea Weasel. But if you take away the... Like, if you shorten Weasel and you just stick with the W, you could call him the W of the Sea.
Yep.
A Sea King, really.
Yeah.
Also, did you see that in the latest episode of One Piece? They finally showed Roshio. Remember that? During the Vegapunk broadcast?
Roshio.
Come on, Par. We corrected the wiki.
Oh my god.
The guy from Jaya.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah, because the wiki said he was dead, and then we came out and said, "Oh, guys, that's Roshio." And then, like, I think hours later, the wiki updated and it was like, "Oh, he's alive!" Ah!
It was you.
So good.
To be fair, you were the one who knew it. I was the one who saw it. I was like, "Who is this guy in the background's crazy?" And then we were like both looking at him, and you didn't like pay attention to him then. And you're like, "That's Roshio." And then we looked at the wiki, and we're like, "No, he's dead." And we're like, "No, we're just better than the wiki."
Yeah.
And then they fixed
The
it
anime
that day.
The anime actually zoomed in on him too. Yeah,
Dude,
in the anime, he had like a full scene where he did this at the camera. I was like, whoa.
Should we be directors? We
And
know where to put the emphasis.
The thing is that people don't know this. We talked about it before. Roshio is a valid candidate for the man marked by flames. The anime didn't show it because the anime, kind of like Whitebeard when he got attacked by Kainu, they had to censor Roshio because what happens is that Bellamy in the anime he shoots him, kicks him out the window, and he falls down. But in the manga, where it's uncensored, Bellamy not only stabs him, shoots him, but when he kicks him out the window, he sets him on fire.
Bro, is he?
He's immortal.
All that.
He's literally immortal.
Is this guy a holy knight? What the?
Yeah, and then
I've seen people
I don't know if
die
you've seen
for
his
less.
headband. His headband, which is stayed consistent, day one all the way to even this episode, it's still like the headband of like it's a person hanging on his headband.
Yeah, they're like the Bellamy.
Yeah, people are
Wait,
saying it's like the Ben 10 Omnitrix, where you see like the silhouette of the person. It literally looks like
yeah,
that, but it's like a person. And people are saying maybe it's like a another iteration of the Sun God. It could be
bro.
like a Death
He
God, which I mean falls in line with his epithet, which is Executioner.
the fact that he didn't die as a third ring character, came back, got a zoom up is insane because Bogard ain't gonna get any of that.
Dude is
Roshio over
crazy.
Bogard is insane.
People
Roshio
are,
lived. I can
people
give
are
more.
like, yo, where is Bogard in this flashback?
Yeah, no, I'm with. Hey, listen, I I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I said a lot of things about Bogart, and a lot of things panned out in my way. And now I didn't say explicitly what would happen on God Valley, but if I would have in the past, I wouldn't have said this. I wouldn't have say it would stop at us seeing him mid jump. Like, dude, we don't even know if he landed on the island. Oh no, he did. He was
Yeah,
running
he was
with
running
Garp.
with Garp.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He did get that.
Dude,
Okay, so maybe the
everybody's like,
anime
yo,
zooms
like
in.
everybody's saying, where's Bogard, man? Like, why is
I'm
he
with
not
you.
fighting Rayleigh? Why is he not
There.
fighting
Oh.
Rocks?
No, 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 no. Maybe next chapter, Sai. Maybe
Yeah, we're gonna
next
look
chapter.
so stupid. We're gonna
Yeah,
learn.
because
Yeah,
no, because
yeah.
Rayleigh and Scopper are running back for Roger, who's running back for Garp.
You know what's funny too
It's
is
not
that
Sengoku. It's got to be Bogard.
Oda could have easily put Bogard in the chapter and not made him fight. He could have just been on the ships, the one talking, saying, "Hey, all the people and the sailors on board, come on, Garp." Like that could have been Bogard. When you genuinely, that could have been Bogard. You know how like there's a Roger pirate, like I don't even know his name. Like there's this big Roger pirate saying that to Roger. We could have got that from Bogard. And it would have been like a 1-to-1 panel too, because like, oh, like yeah, because that's right before we got the Garp Roger thing where they said we'll be back.
Let me
It's like,
say a max
damn.
and let me say a minimum. The minimum is like the fact that Marco's dad got a layup introduction as a background character that was so detailed that we could tell this guy had to be Marco something, right? And hands out. Oda could do that. He may put Panda Man in the background, put a dude with the top hats, just so I can lie a little bit and say, "Hey guys, that's Bogard." I can't even say I could do that. But the maximum, I'm like, imagine Bogard puts his hand on Dragon, like Dragon did to Luffy on the ship, and he's crashing out. He's like, I'm gonna execute you. And Bogard puts his hand and he's like, I got you, young one, young Padawan. And Dragon looks up Bogard because it's like that's like his uncle, I'm assuming. It'd be crazy if he doesn't know who Bogard is. That would be another hilarious. Who the fuck are you? Aren't you
Oh
only
my
named in the
god.
credits?
Dude, imagine Rayleigh
What's your
clashes with
name?
Bogard and he's like, I guess the Marines have a fighter themselves. Like, what? You guys have never
Yeah,
fought in the
like
past?
that's the whole thing. Like the premise of all the
Uh,
Bogart fans is like Rayleigh has to know this guy. If Roger be clashing with Garp, who's clashing with Rayleigh? It's a fodder? No, it has to be Bogart, right? It's like Dragon, Rayleigh, Scopper. Someone please acknowledge Bogart. Make him Bogart at this moment. Memes, I'm memeing, but it feels like Law not having a backstory meme. Like, is Bogart on the island? Like,
is he here?
does he take treasure? Does he save anybody? Does he fight anybody? Like I saw some like shadowy Marco like figure kicking Silver Axe's butt. Oh, Bogart, it's just a guy with a hat, bro. That's all I'm asking for. Like I don't even know. I don't even know where Bogart
And
is. And that's why it's like it has to be next
dude,
chapter. It has to be.
the best part is that somebody commented there. So I've been a big fan of Barbell, and he hasn't shown up for a while. And people are saying, Sai, you're finally feeling an ounce of Bogart fans' pain.
No,
That's
that's
so
not the
funny.
same thing. Bogart has existed for 18 years in the story. Barbell showed up last week, guys. It's not the
Which, I mean,
same.
it's disgusting, though, how Barbell hasn't shown. We literally got all of the Rocks pirates in this chapter and the chapter prior, but no Barbell. Like, isn't that
Barbell
weird?
Barbell has a canon name. Bogart doesn't have a canon name.
Yeah,
We might,
Bogart's never been mentioned in the canon story. I mean that's
Don't
the thing though, right? Like at
don't
some point
make
we're gonna have to see
don't
Barbell
parallel the
again.
pain. Guys are fighting for an
Like we're
unnamed
literally
character.
talking about the father of the sea, Barbell.
He's named
Possibly
through the live action.
legitimately the strongest fishman out there. The strongest pirate
The
fishman,
father of the sea.
not there at all. You know, somebody
The,
commented, they're like, Sai, he's not called the father of the sea. And it's like, brother, I'm calling him that though.
yeah.
All it takes
Yeah.
is one person to change the narrative.
I hate that there's more hype for a guy that showed up this week. Polo Graham and Barbell. At least he has a Fu Manchu mustache. He's a big dude. He had flaming hair. I can't get none of that to Bogard. Bogard got named from the live action because he was named before from the anime. No one believed it, and it wasn't until they paid like what, like $80,000 to an actor for a season, or probably more, to play Bogard. It's like, all right, guys, his name is Bogard now. Okay, let's lock it in. Bro, Oda hadn't thrown us a bone even in the manga yet. He had him show up, and he's still not. Is he even? Did Guard go shut up Bogart? Did he even do anything like that? I don't even remember. I repressed it.
What's
I'm a
funny?
Bogart fan, and I'm in denial. It's
What's
fine.
funny is that you know, me and my wife are watching One Piece live action, and she saw Bogart. She's like, "Oh, look, he's important. He's important." You know, but she knows the joke though. She knows.
Do
The
I
joke.
got a video for you? No, no, no,
And
no.
it's
Do I
funny,
got a video for you?
and it's funny because I was like, "Babe, he's not important. Literally, just the OPLA writers are just memers. Like they want to make him important. Oda tossed them a bone, but in
Yeah.
reality, Bogart's lose. He doesn't even exist. The guy's not even here, bro. It's just he
No.
exists in memes and with like writers, but Oda does not give a fuck about this guy.
No, see, this is where I draw the line with that logic. But I'm with you on most of it because they love the Easter eggs. But the problem here is there is a difference between Easter egg and hiring somebody. When they cut out other characters that were way more important to the story, even for a dialogue bubble, whatever, like that character made sense. You didn't need to insert Bogard into Roger's execution, into all of these scenes that didn't happen, and pay a guy. That's where I'm like, no, that's different. That's a little different. They were like, hey, we're on a budget.
But we also know that
do we
Oda and the
have to
writers were
hire
fighting
this
for a
guy?
little bit about like the script and what they're gonna do, what they're not gonna do.
Why was Bogart the line that they were like, did the writers ask to write a lines for Bogart that didn't exist when they cut out other canon things? I'm like, wait, they were fighting for the canon things. I get it. I know for a fact that Matt Owens watched my Bogart video and he liked the Bogart video and he liked the ideas. But I also know for a fact that when it came to the chopping block, Bogart should have been the first there. There should be no bone thrown to that. He's not named in the manga for 25 years by that point. Stop it. Like, that's where I'm like, why did Oda make them pay a dude for it? No offense. The guy who plays it, very handsome. Giving us a solid. But like that's where it's weird. And I'm like, is Oda setting us up? Is this a Twitter meme like
don't
painting
know
the
if it's
black?
Oda setting us up. Like I said, apparently there's like a lot of fighting behind the scenes between like Oda and like, you know, the production company and like what they can and
What do
can't
you
do.
mean apparently? Where are your sources?
Because it's
I'm
like
just curious.
rumors.
Rumors from what? I want to know what
I'm not gonna
rumors you're
say.
playing with. Oh, okay. See, that's where I'm like, wait.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say, but like from what I've heard, it's not like a simple like, oh, you know, Oda had creative vision over every single detail. It's like, yes, he had creative vision and he had leeway, but it's not like the production company said, oh yeah, we're gonna bend over backwards like out for every single thing. So it's like when it comes to Bogart, it's like, did Oda want this, or like was he like, I don't know, I don't care, or was it like, oh, there's bigger things to fight for? We don't like, unless we're in the room, we don't know.
Easter egg is like putting a treasure chest, like the Shanks treasure chest, right? That doesn't cost money. It's just painting it a little different. Doing those Easter eggs. This one is an Easter egg that is expensive. This is probably the most expensive, useless thing that they have. Put that money to Chopper. Like, give him more money. Like, that's probably really expensive. Give it to the Chopper Fund. He's a main character. Bogard, I'm sorry, guys. We could not. If they need the extra 100,000 that they're probably paying the guy, which I don't know, maybe he's not paying him that much, but in the first season he was in every episode, so it has to be something substantial. And he had lines. He had a lot of lines. He had some hard ass lines. The fact that Sai's wife was like also gaslit a little bit, like, wait, no, maybe he is important.
No, well, okay, that was like a meme though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like, to a certain extent, like there should be no reason you entertain that he's going to be important, right? Unless you go to like, oh, the extremes of like the actor that Oda referenced and actually talked about, his middle name is the D. So it's like, oh, he's a D, just like the Garp. Like you could go to theory levels, but you have to be like, I'm not sitting here telling you guys that Bogard, he's gonna be out there and save us from the Fire Nation, show up on God Valley, kick ass. But there's a line between that and just mentioning his name one goddamn time in the arc that everyone thought he would be in. He shows up and he's just like relaying a message, and we don't even know his name. We know other people's names on this island. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so wild.
Yeah.
It's so wild that he's not there.
Bogard exists in our dreams, but let me tell you, Barbell, he exists in reality. We need Barbell soon. Barbell, please come home. Come home, son.
Yeah, because he's the one with the most mass.
People are saying that Barbell, which I think this is actually a fun theory. They're saying he could have been taken by a god knight, like legitimately, because he's a fishman and he's a slave right now. And I like that idea.
So Fisher Tiger freedom.
Possibly, yeah. Unless he just died somewhere between.
Oh yeah, there's that. Or fish. Oh, what happened to him being the strongest, the first father of the ocean? He's just fodder to the
Well,
thing.
I mean, if you're taken in by the Holy Knights, and if you're beaten black and blue for like decades, yeah, I think most people would die. Believe it or not.
Fisher Tiger imprisoned for? Because that'd be crazy, right?
Like, I think for like maybe 2 years.
Maybe like his crash out moment was when Barbell died so Fisher Tiger could escape.
Oh.
Or all the Rocks pirates.
I'll do you one better.
He trafficked Fisher Tiger into slavery.
I'll do you one better. What if there was like an ace situation at up there where he's like, you know what, Fisher Tiger, I'll take this whipping for you. And it was Barbell who took all the damage. And then Fisher Tiger was like, no, Barbell, please. And then Barbell's like, keep swimming. Do you think
that during the starvation that they're going through right now, the famine that they call it, and where they refuse to eat bread even though they're starved, do you think they start cooking the fishmen?
I would.
Yeah, so mass.
Yeah, like why wouldn't you? Yeah, so
do they taste? Does Shirahoshi taste
like a little bit about good old mass here. But before we get to that, Roger does extend the invitation to Garp to join his crew. Sweet stuff, man. Yeah. Love the camaraderie here. Of course, Garp says no. If I quit, who's gonna watch out for the rank and file, like the average everyday Marine? And I like that answer. Yeah. I think it's a pretty solid one. And yeah, I mean, it is true. Like, nobody's going to look out for like the Kobes out there, the Helmeppos, just the random Marines who do want to help people. And, you know, I think it kind of backs up the whole notion that Garp is probably looking out for the next generation too. That's why he stays with them.
Yeah.
And I feel like eventually we will get like some sort of separation. I feel like this just... I mean, obviously, I feel like most fans kind of agree with that anyways. Like, yeah, like the Marines are going to split up from the world government. I think this just doubles down on that. And then even Roger says, hey, Garp, do you know about that black monster? Which kind of confirms that Emu is not silhouetted here. They're actually like a blob. And Garp is like, yeah, I can't believe it either. And funny, because in TCB, Garp says, I wouldn't call that justice. Oh, no. I think Roger says that, and then Garp agrees. But either way, the word justice is dropped here somewhere in TCB. And I like that because it's like, yeah, like all the Marines dash admirals, they have their own justice. And Garp and Roger, like, yeah, that ain't justice. And I think that's the assumption most Marines would also come to if they watched what happened here.
Yeah.
So again, like when Emu's existence gets like put out into the open, I feel like a lot of Marines will actually turn on him.
Yeah, and he's also separating the world government and Navy, because I think the Viz does translate it, but like I like the justice line, but instead here he's saying the world government they call themselves the good guys, and he's like protecting the Navy, the Marines. So like there's that separation, right? Like though they're
Yeah.
not the good guys, but these guys, they don't have a choice to a certain extent. And that's where like the big question is like, okay, so what does he do? Right. I think everybody would always want characters to do more in the situation. And like, yeah, Oda, it's in Oda's ballpark to give us that information because we haven't really pulled back the curtains on Garp really. So, and we've been teasing it. We've been teasing it from we have data points, Kobe, Kuzan, Dragon, right? We're gonna get those. We're gonna get those, and surely during those times, we're gonna get some scary moments where Garp puts his foot down or does something crazy. Because when you think about it, right? Uh, like this would be something I'd make like a short about is like taking this line. It's like Garp actually exhibited this in the story with Egghead. With the moment when he took it upon himself to ignore the orders, what did he do? He redirected not well, Dahl still went, but like a bunch of Marines would have went that way. Instead, he pulled them to Hachinosu. So he took Sword and he took a few other people, whatever. Or he just took all of Sword. But Sword was also called that way too. And it was like, wait, Garp, you're just ignoring it. He's like, yeah, I don't have to listen to this, right? If not for him redirecting people to his, saving Kobe, there would have been more people who would have experienced the terror of Egghead, where like we were all like, yo, why did they even call the Marines here? If they were just gonna show up eventually, or this was that important, to a certain extent, like you shouldn't have even called a buster call. Like this is insane. You need the nuclear plant, you need Vegapunk, all this stuff, and you just brought witnesses to your forums. You just brought a bunch of people who are gonna live and see it. And in God Valley, we see the reaction. People are like, wait, Saturn, is that you? You're looking a little different today. And then so like versus on Egghead, it wasn't just that. It was that like they turned into monsters and they were indiscriminately killing like or we don't know if they died. We don't see the bodies, but like Emu showed up here using Saturn's body and started just stabbing all the Marines. And it's like they were kind of sucking up, spitting out all the Marines, one side of the island, the other. And, we even have like Saturn disrespecting the vice admirals, which, they have the authority, but it was also kind of like insane the way he did it because it's a little embarrassing. And so it's like crazy that, that's the thing. And that's what Garp has been, saving them from essentially, right? Like all these years, how many events like this, how many situations did he redirect good Marines away from? If Kobe were on the force in a regular circumstance, right, he might end up like Dragon, where Dragon is like permanently scarred for the rest of his life. And he's like, disillusioned to what everything is. And the reality is, it's like we literally saw Dragon not on Garp's unit, right? Isn't that what happened there? Now Garp knows, and so now he'll protect Dragon and whatever all the way up to where Kobe and Helmeppo are, right? It's kind of clear to us that Kobe hasn't witnessed anything like this. So I think if had Kobe been on Egghead, that'd been insane. You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah.
Kobe was also kidnapped, but like Helmeppo, Helmeppo would have been an ant in the hurricane, but then he'd also be like, wait, I'm supposed to be with the hurricane. The hurricane's my bosses. Like, what's happening? So yeah,
And plus,
definitely like the
Helmeppo's a weird
lines.
one too, because he's like a big fighter. Like it's essentially like adding a Zoro to the island.
Yeah, yeah. Like, watch out, Bogard. Someone's coming for your titles, the right hand to the hero of the Marines.
Yeah, and then it's
Yeah,
just Helmeppo there. Be crazy.
yeah, yeah. That'd be wild. The
Yeah.
Giants are held back, clashing. Ooh,
Ooh, yeah,
wild.
yeah. Oimo and Kasha, like, watch out, guys. It's Helmeppo we're dealing with.
Is that Helmeppo the two kukri knife
Kukri
wielder?
knife guy.
Oh my god, I've heard
Speaking
about
of
him.
Egghead, during
Yeah.
the Vegapunk broadcast, we finally got the Queen Lily picture, the bust animated. And Queen Lily
Oh,
literally looks just like Vivi. Like blue hair, big forehead, everything. It's a spitting image, which we kind of already assumed, but people were
yeah.
like playing with different hair colors. But no, it's blue. It's confirmed here.
Blue, blue.
Yeah, blue, blue.
Did you bust?
No. And by the way, our assumption, I think it was just a guess, like, oh, like, is there the bottom half of Lily's picture is like a full thing? It's really just the bust up, which is pretty funny.
Hmm.
Because we were calling
Hmm.
Emu a gooner, which, you know, when he
Yeah,
looks at
and
the
Joy
image,
Boy
it does give off like gooner energy, like, Lily.
yeah.
And
It's
there's
like
like a
the
whole walkway. You actually see the floor of the room there. It's like tiled.
Yeah, it's like the age-old joke in older movies and things where like you have the Playboy magazine and then the guy like rips it, whatever, and all you're left is
Yeah.
this one half, and you're just like, ah, that guy. He took my joy,
Who
you
took
know?
my joy? Also, while you were fixing your camera, I hopped on Twitter for a second. You might not care about this because it's whatever. But One Punch
Uh-huh.
Man season 3, the animator for this latest episode, people are saying his scenes are really good, which he has like a minute of
Uh-huh.
he has like a minute worth of animation in there. And even he came
Yeah,
out and said the art direction of the episode is so bad it makes his work look a little bit bad too. Which I'm like, damn, can you say that? I don't know.
that's
Yeah, I was
crazy.
like, can you actually say that? If you're an animator, maybe not. Well, I mean, then again, I guess he doesn't want to work with this company again, but that's fair. Yeah, so
Yeah,
like everybody's
yeah,
praising his work, but and then he's on the side like, yeah, my work was better than this, but everything else about the episode makes it look worse than it actually is. Like, oh Jesus Christ, dude. Which
yeah.
I guess is like
It's
more
like,
validation to the people who are saying that the animation's been kind of mid. Because everybody's like, oh
mhm.
no, they're working. This is great. This is that. And now like an actual guy who worked on it's like, yeah, it's not that great. So I just love
Yeah,
that.
guys, don't lie to yourselves. Have more dignity,
Yeah,
essentially.
pretty much. Like like I said, I watch bad anime, so it's whatever. But I know it's not good.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, One Punch Man is especially sad. We talked about it on the 50-50. I think we talked about it on the 50-50, or we talked about it off. Yeah. Hey, I mean, there's a lot of hype with One Piece going seasonal. Hopefully, we never go back to the days where we were One Punch Man. There was
Yeah,
a
shout
time.
outs to One Piece, which I'm glad for that. I feel like One Piece should have been seasonal a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah,
So now on to your favorite part about the chapter. You keep on bringing this up like left and right. Mass.
yeah,
You and the mass, brother. Like, what's up with this? Which there's a lot of interpretations to what mass is. I like your thing where it's like, oh, it's like the mass and the weight of the soul. I
yeah,
kind of like the idea that it's just like backbone, but I like both. I mean, I think everything about mass. I haven't heard like a bad idea necessarily, except for just the
yeah,
fact that like Roger and Garp should gain weight, which I'm like, okay, wait, what? Huh?
yeah. That's why I think it's just like they said critical. What would the TCB say? Critical mass is so fun. So next time we should channel all of our mass into it versus on Viz. So you want to hit him with a critical mass of Supreme King hockey? It just sounds like different languages. Oh my god, my
Yeah,
camera's frozen. I don't know why.
that's fine. That's
Um,
fine.
my apologies, guys. The audio should be good. But yeah, I'm looking at it kind of like as a way for Oda to bridge the conversation of like what it means when Luffy runs out of hockey, right? Like that was more pertinent in the Doflamingo fight where he kept on using Gear 4 and then tapping out. And then Doflamingo's like, you ran out of hockey. You're gonna need at least 10 minutes to recover it. And he's just, or like it's gonna take you a while. And then Luffy's just like 10. And then Doflamingo's like has like a pocket watch time going off in his hands. He enters in back and he's like, haha, I got you back sooner than you could recover. You don't have all your hockey yet, don't you? And I'm like, that was always a weird conversation because when we're reading it or we're watching it, we don't know what hockey really is. But now with more of an expert lens post, where Luffy doesn't even go back,
Expert
it's like,
lens.
yeah, I'm like, I don't even know what that means now. Like, what it was Dofi on, bro? But then when Roger's saying it, it's like, is that what he's talking about? Like, there's a like balloon that they like know they have, and they're expending it all. And Luffy's doing that with Gear 4. He runs out of air, but like, I don't know. It doesn't, like you said, like either
But this
interpretation.
also
It's like you
feels like
don't.
meatheads just kind of going out like, just use that mass, man. Like, okay, cool,
Yeah,
gotcha, man. Sure.
it's also funny because Ace was always the more like brain than like he was bronze too, but he also like thought things out. And it's like Roger's sort of doing that, but then when you sit with what he's saying, it's like, no, he's just saying shit. Like it's as if I was dropped in the verse and I didn't know what the heck was going on. It's like we hit hard, we hit big, we hit at once. That's it. That he didn't say anything more than that. And Garp was just like, oh, not many hit, one hit. And then he proceeds to do like a Gatling motion, and they both do multi-hit thing. They're like, we got to do one hit all at once, right? And then they do what they do, but at this, it kind of feels like a lighter version of Luffy and Ace, because like Garp is also logic and Roger's also there too.
Yeah.
But I do wonder what if anything that matters, because the logic that Roger was using was based off of devil fruits. So like he like I didn't know that like Dami Reversi was supposed to be held in the same vein as devil fruits, but he doesn't know either. So I'm just looking at it like they just threw their balls to the wall and shit probably worked out. Heck, we don't even know if it did because we don't see a body yet. But next chapter, we might find out that Rox didn't die and he like self-relinquishes or something. Like kind of like Ryuma, when Ryuma got slashed by Zoro, he got cut, but he's also a zombie. But then he caught on flame. He just like lit on fire. And then he just disintegrated. It's not like Zoro really won that, but like it was like, yeah, nah, he won that. He got it. He cut me. Blah blah. And then he just self-immolated and then just disappeared. Maybe Rox does that too. Maybe like they hit him hard enough where he's able to like weaken the Damiurversi himself, and then he just like kills himself, Fun fact, that was actually, I could theorize that, but like that was something I wrote about. But I was like, damn, maybe YouTube's gonna demonetize me for like talking about offing yourself. But yeah.
YouTube,
I don't
man,
think they
that
would.
algo's getting strong.
Yeah. I don't
Apparently
think they do
now,
like 40
like,
minutes in.
yeah, it can start processing the next words you're gonna say.
Oh, they got the AI. Right,
Yeah, I
right,
like
right,
that.
right.
Shout outs, brother.
That is a spooky thing to come back to. They only got scarier since I've been gone. At
I
least for
like it.
videos.
I wanted to get to a point where like essentially I don't even have to get out of bed. It's just like AI just works for me.
They won't pay you though. They'll
That's
just
totally
take your.
fine. I thought
They
about
won't even
becoming like
say
a couch
a
potato like
Sora
the Wally
victim.
people.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a Sora victim, like Jake Paul puts
Oh
his
no, that's
likeness out
funny.
there so people can do anything, and then all the videos are just, yeah, enough said. But
It's funny. Garp is like, hey, he's guarding with Supreme King's hockey. And it's interesting to think about that with Rox, because it's like, yo, like Rox isn't even in control of his own body, yet like the Dominator is using like Rox's willpower in hockey for
yeah,
something that he's not willing for. It's like, damn, dude, that
yeah,
sucks, bro.
and we're also not getting like dialogue. We're getting the yes, like the very obviously ghoulish manifestation of him like uttering words. Whereas like Dory and Brogy were out there hitting us with a manifesto, bro. They were like, oh,
Yeah,
these
we're
years
gonna take
under the
over.
foot of these giants. We don't need a god of war anymore. And I was like, you don't have a god of war. What are we talking about? Loki is chained up and Harold is dead. Who's the god of war? That's you guys. Like Emu literally picked you because you're already the strongest. Like it's kind of funny that they like went out there and then their target is Ja Rule. I was half expecting like the god of war was someone in the heaven realm, just like chilling up there. He's the one who makes all the rules. The people that told Harold that he can't have a wife from another island. But no, they're just like, nah, we're gonna
Oh
smash
my
Ja
god, I
Rule all
forgot
these
about
years of
that.
oppression. Yeah,
Will
yeah.
that
So
ever be
like, and
tackled? I have no clue.
I don't know, but like it is impressive that Rox isn't even speaking. He's inner monologuing, right? Like Dory, Brogy, I think they said more words while in Damiurversi than we saw them in Little Garden. They let Mr. Three step all over them. Damiurversi hit us with a lot of inside,
Made him
more
talkative.
development.
But for Rock's
Yeah.
like the exact opposite, which I mean, maybe Emu controls that. He's like, hey, you're a nasty Davy. I don't need you like spreading your words anymore. Let's chill out on that. Gummy
Well,
Reversi, silence.
we do know that uh um I think Sandman clarified last chapters when Emu said Davy at the very end of it. It was in the tone of wondering why Rox was responding to Roger and Garp. So there are other things to say, being able to cry despite the like euphoric feeling that Dom University canonically has been giving Dorian Broggie and hasn't been giving Rox. He had it at the beginning, but then once Eris and Teach died to him, then he started crying. He got to voice all things out. He is more ways than one preventing Emu from controlling him. So that is interesting.
That is good.
Interesting.
Thank you, Sandman. Yeah. Sandman is so helpful, dude. What would we do without Sandman?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole coalition against Sandman too.
Sandman and Dawn and Dusk, like they're just coming out of the woodworks, giving us amazing Japanese translations. It's some beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
We don't care if Sandman on the occasion doxes Oda's addresses and studios.
Yeah, we don't talk about that stuff.
What he had for the morning this morning, by the way.
Yeah.
Tells us which cup is Oda's.
Like, I love the theories that Oda is literally just Sandman, or like Sandman is Oda's wife or something.
Yeah.
Those are some funny theories, dude.
Hey, we're gonna find out that
up.
Sandman is the person who started Croco Mom is Sandman. And it's all a ploy because it's Oda's wife as Sandman. And she is the biggest benefactor and supporter of the Croco Mom theory. And everyone wonders, where did that theory come from? Would it be some shock if Sandman was behind Crocodile, the Sandman?
The Sandman, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta put emphasis on it.
Yeah. We find out that the live actor, we know who the live actress in the first season was actually just Sandman.
Yeah.
That's not
it, I don't know what we're talking about. Yeah. So we see that Garp and Roger team up for a duo ultimate attack, and they mention that after this, they're gonna be done for. Like, that is all of their energy just kaput. And I think that's kind of interesting, because it's like, wait a minute, maybe this could give more validity to the whole, like, Scopper and Rayleigh thing, where they're just coming back onto the island. And, maybe this is where we get the Holy Knights showing out, right? Oh, they can't move anymore, so the Holy Knights are going to come in, and they're gonna beat up Garp and Roger. Maybe that's it.
I'm still here.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah, maybe that's it, though, like, we'll finally get the Holy Knights showing out now that Roger and Garp cannot fight back, which is all we really wanted.
Yeah, that's all we really wanted. That's all we could ask for at this point, right?
Like, yeah, exactly.
It is kind of dubious what we're doing with God Valley. Hey, I just want a legitimate, like, if I had to defend something, are the Holy Knights? Am I defending a Yeti guy yet? I don't even know his name, but. That being said, the island disappearing to some extent, being like located elsewhere, like a lot of those things, I want that. I'm all for that, like give me that. If we get anything in the next few chapters, some justification for erasure beyond just paperwork. You know what I mean? Like the difference between me erasing like God Valley and my childhood can't just be that the difference is they hired people to lose the records versus like my mom and dad just forgot it in the move to our new house. Like it can't just be that, guys. Like I can't have the same backstory as God Valley, like a little bit more. I'll ask for that before I ask for Holy Knights Cope, because at the end of the day, and I think you agree with this, these may not even be the Holy Knights we have in our modern. There's a world where like they don't matter. We just have Shamrock and Sommers and Gunko. Just Sommers. Sommers the only one. Actually, now I think about it, because Gunko wasn't a Holy Knight here, technically. Yeah. Allegedly.
We have no clue in reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, scary
It
stuff,
is
man.
a weird place to be in, that's for sure.
Yeah, so they land this attack. Roger swings his blade around. We get the black lightning. He says, God of Fire, Ace. Garp winds up the fists and he lands the infinitum explosion. And what's cool is that these are both fire-based attacks, which of course, like, hey, Luffy, where's the fire, brother? Maybe fire's it. Fire is going to be
Yeah.
the key, possibly. And we see that the narrator kicks in and they talk about the downfall of Roxy Zabek and as a lawless band of followers. They wreaked havoc on this era and cast unmistakable reverberations that shook the very world. End of chapter, end of rocks. What's
Speaking
up?
of reverberating and connecting that to Kaido's possible CTE, I just realized, like, like the fire, the thing. I just remembered, like, I think Kaido got triggered when Luffy's first like big attack on rooftop was Red Rock. That probably did a number on him, because it has the rock in it, and it's on fire. Apparently, fire is good against demons, but the rock, man, that was probably the most damaging part. He got up, immediately started thinking his top five,
It's like, Jesus
off of
Christ.
hearing that name. Yeah, there's only a few people, the few people who can hurt me. That's what he said, and he thought of those people. Didn't think of Garp, put rocks up there. Rocks hit him one time in his entire life that we've seen. We got multiple chapters of that too. So it's like, damn, it was really one hit. Rocks hit him one time. You remember that and put him in that top five. It's crazy. I'm not saying that Rocks doesn't deserve to be there, but like, it is kind of wild that Garp isn't there and he's the one who dispatched his captain when Kaido just walked away from. He wanted all the smoke.
Yeah,
Boy, he has CTE for sure.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is it for Rocks. While he's down, I don't think he's going to be dead right away. I bet we'll get more of him
Yeah.
next chapter.
He didn't Dami reverse immediately. He's not gonna die immediately. Ain't no way, bro.
Yeah, he's probably going to like drop some good old lore and
Wasn't
then
it
he'll die.
Clover? Clover got shot in the face, and then we see him like next chapter, like, oh yeah, you got to
Moving
see.
books.
Yeah, he's moving books and then robbing.
Yeah.
So it's like the it looked like he got shot in the face, but hey, he got that white beard blood
And
in
then
him,
plus he's a demon, so it's like, we saw that Brogy was able to not like exactly regenerate, but he could move his arm despite it being chopped off. So it's like, I wonder if like Rocks would be fine.
Wait,
Or, I
it
mean,
fully
okay,
regenerated after that.
I don't think he'd be like fine, but as like the power's fading, he could like, maybe regenerate a
Yeah.
little bit. I guess it depends on Emu. Emu's kind of giving up
Mhm.
on the island, so maybe he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna take this back. I'm done.
Mhm.
But Brogy, we haven't seen him fully regenerate. Actually, we didn't see if the arm came back.
Mm.
Yeah, I went
Does
back and I
this?
looked at the panels, and whenever Brogy, like, the arm is moving, but the wrist
Mhm.
didn't reattach and it didn't grow back. And then in the last panel
Mm.
where we see Brogy, the shield actually blocks like what's happening right there. So we don't know for
Mm.
sure.
Does this chapter change your the Dami Reversi?
No.
No, I mean like the homeland versus like the emotions or like what it takes. Like you said fire earlier. And we were waiting. We're like, hey, if this chapter Emu doesn't Dami Reversi anyone else, then the homeland theory has more legs to stand on. But I
Um.
don't think in that logic
Hmm.
it calculated this where no, the reality is Emu just dips.
Yeah, Emu
I don't know
dipped,
what
so I,
that.
I can't say anything about the Homeland Theory.
Yeah, I think
Which,
like
like I
Oda
said, I think the Homeland
some.
Theory is fine. It's not like my favorite, but it's a fine
Yeah,
theory.
I think there's a lot of support. It's just that the process that we're seeing this chapter especially, it doesn't help, which kind of sucks to say with this as being a primary example. But to that note, like I don't think this version of events was calculatable as like a debut. Because here's another thing that I was thinking about. Rocks. So Emu on Elbaf did something interesting. And I went back and I looked at the arm thing and I didn't, I was like, oh, it has some form of like, yeah, it's not regeneration, but it's like some form of like, I don't even know what that would be, like Brooke reattaching limbs type thing, even though they're disconnected. But Brogy and Dory both got directly Dami reversing. Right after Brogy was done, they said she's got Dory too. So she did two. And that's significant because from there, they did the go thing, the reversey thing of flipping everyone in between. And I was like, oh, that's crazy because here, that's not happening with Rocks because he's the only one. She would need to do two to be able to do the game thing, which we saw. It was very explicitly, that was the way, even the characters like, is this like some kind of game? Like what's happening? And earlier, Rocks dodged it because technically, Emu wouldn't have needed to Dami Reversi if Rocks didn't draw the line in the sand. But he drew the line in the sand, no one was able to get behind him. So no, if the Dami Reversi, his family, if anyone was able to get behind him, he would have gotten flipped. But because he let no one pass him, he saw the field, he stood his ground and everyone was in front of him. That's why he didn't get multiplied, whatever. But it also, what also that scene tells you is that, this one's obvious, but the Holy Knights and their birds are immune to it because they didn't get flipped. They're in between the thing. And so the logic is that if they're in between, like the game, Reversey, they would have gotten flipped. Holy Knights being immune to it, fine. But their birds, damn the birds. So it's not animals. Animals can't do it. And I was like, oh, you can play with that however you want. But that rule was like off rip. As soon as Dami Reversey got revealed, that was the first thing that we got like as a rule. That like Tall Man couldn't move. He couldn't move on the board because it was like a game board. And he's like, why can't I move? And then he got flipped like the game. And it was shown from a top down, just like the game. And so it is interesting that Oda dodged that here. And like dodging it also doesn't help either. Because it's like, is Oda hiding who can't be Dami Reversied? Because then it's like, why didn't Emu Dami Reversi one other person? It could have made this a lot easier, right? Or maybe this would be the ultimate cope. Emu knew the power levels and knew that Rocks couldn't go on, but this would be the preferable outcome where Roger and Garp killed Rocks and then they were able to leave the island. I'm like, if Emu's calculating like that, that'd be nuts. But like they're like, oh, this is 50 Doriki and this is 60 Doriki and Rocks right now is at 100 Doriki. They win, right? Like I don't know, but or they can like observation hockey is insane. But I do think it is like it is questionable why more people weren't Dami reversied. There's like a lot of not pushback that the Holy Knights and the fact that we know that the Holy Knights are able to Dami Reversi all on their own. Why weren't there more? That is a weird circumstance. And if there's a limitation on who can get Dami Reversied, I do think that's important. But if we go the emotions route and it's just emotions, I'm sure that so many people on the island would be vulnerable to Dami Reversi. Captain John, easy. He got blown up, boogered. Like all the pirates are like, can I get the treasure? They're all disturbed at the moment, right? There's like only a few people who are like locked in, like Whitebeard and Marco and a few other people. But like, if you were to tell me that Emu couldn't get Kaido because couldn't like put him off kilter in his brain, I don't know if I buy that, There has to be more to that limitation. That's why it's like, I like the other route, but like we were saying before, this chapter doesn't help in any direction, in my opinion. There's not enough details. Oda dodged it. Doesn't feel good on the story side, but maybe that's why he had to do it. He had to skim it because he wasn't ready to show us some things.
Yeah. I feel like Oda definitely like dodged the whole Domi Reversey thing, which is fair. Because we're still tackling it here in Elbaf, so I bet we'll get more pretty soon.
We shouldn't even see this. Whose perspective is this? Who is Mosa? Who told Loki all of these details? Like there shouldn't be, like you said, even Shiki
If
doesn't even
we're
know what
even getting
rocks looks
this
like.
backstory from Loki.
Yeah, yeah. It could just be just a spontaneous birth of a backstory in the midst of Loki's backstory, which is like,
Yeah.
all right. That's what I was memeing before. Like, it's not fair to say this is better than Kuma's flashback because at least Kuma's flashback was his flashback. This isn't Loki's flashback anymore, guys. I don't count it. I don't know whose flashback this is. This ain't Harold's either.
It's just a
Harold
narrator
wasn't here.
flashback.
Yeah, this is wild. This is a wild flashback. This one is a flashback on steroids for sure.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much. But
Yeah.
with that being said, though, Par, any final thoughts before we head out of here?
Now we got break week. We got a lot of exciting things. I'm gonna say I also think this like I will say that like even though I am of the mindset that this is being rushed, it does feel better to me when I can sit back and say this is a flashback within a flashback within a flashback within an arc where the character isn't the main thing. It's not that the arc is getting rushed, right? It's not like the same thing as End of Wano to a certain extent getting rushed, right? This is a little bit different. And we all can always sit back on the cope that, like, hey, maybe we get a little bit more of God Valley later on, maybe from the Navy perspective, like some other things that Garp can shed light on, or Bogard, joking, but like the Holy Knights Emu. Maybe Oda didn't give us the Holy Knights to show us the Holy Knight perspective later on about what they were doing at God Valley. They were setting up the 5-star kill
Oh, if
mirror
only, dude.
formation. That'd be
If
sick.
only.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Surely they could do
overall,
that.
like, I still enjoy God Valley. Hopefully, next chapter they fix all of our qualms with Barbell not being here. That is like the one hope and cope, but we will see. Let us
We
know what you
will.
guys thought about this chapter down below, and we'll catch you guys not next week, but the week after, because there is a break week.
There is a break week.
But yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Peace out, stay safe, and happy Thanksgiving.